So you think in all practice, 3 hours later, okay, everything else, man, this is wrong, because I don't get it right away.
Okay, first thing you gotta know, step number 1 when you're learning music theory is, everything is based on the alphabetical order. Totally everything. And the musical alphabet, of course, is, you know what, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? You know this already, right? So I don't have to write down. All right, but what people need to really understand is, when you look at the staff, they always tell you, memorize E, G, B, D, F, right? And this is F, A, C, E, right? Well, that's the standard thoroughfare for teaching people how to read music, and they expect you to memorize that and know how to read music. But what they don't really show you is beyond that. So what happens here is, if you got the note here, that's an E, right? This is G, B, D, F, right? Well, it keeps going.
That's where I leave it.
So above that, we have what's that called, a ledger line, right? And we have 2 ledger lines, right? And 3, then 4 ledger lines. So
I just assume you just keep counting up.
yeah, so what do we got here? So now this turns into F, A, C, E. And then here's the starts E again, E, G, and then you can keep going up. B. Nobody uses letter lines
Oh, because
above
then
5.
it would be A and then B, right? Because the space would be.
Yeah. So for spaces, it's the same thing. You got F, A, C, E, right? You should be writing this on the music paper.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get it. Okay. Yes.
You should copy that on music paper.
I thought that I was doing practice tests.
Do you have any
on
good
mine.
music papers? It's all screwed. It's all screwed. No more toner. I gotta go put it in the toner first. Okay. So it keeps going up, and the pattern, you see the pattern here, what's happening? This is the pattern we talked about last time. Michael, what color do I use for the pattern? Orange?
Yeah.
Here's the pattern. E, G, B, D, F, A, C. E, G, B, D, F, A, C, right? That's the pattern that gets created by the music notes, and it's also every other note in the scale. It's really important.
Every other note in the major scale.
In any kind of scale, it's going to be in alphabetical order. You add the sharps and flats later, depending upon whether it's minor, major, harmonic minor, melodic minor. Then you adjust it with sharps and flats.
Okay.
But the order is always going to be like that. E, G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, B. Right here, F, A, C, E, G, B, D, F, A, C, right? Here's your E, G, B, D, F, A, C, right? And there's your F, A, C, E. Right? That thing's going to repeat into infinity, okay? That's the order that the notes appear on a staff, and that's the order of chords as well. If you're going to make chords, it's going to follow that order as well. So if you're going to write chords, you have it.
I don't have the bottom one yet. Trying to pay attention at the same time. It's like all the class too. I'm trying to write everything and pay attention. D, right? D, F, A,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. E, F, A.
Face, right?
Okay. So if you're going to make chords, the chords are going to follow the same logic. Exactly. no matter what. So if you're gonna play an E chord, E minor, E major, E augmented, whatever you want, what are the three notes gonna be?
E, G, B.
E, G, B.
Really?
Yes,
Why?
that's the way it always is. It's a given.
No, I mean, but, okay. Can you repeat that?
Anytime you make a chord, it's gonna follow the alphabet like that.
And it's always only those three?
No.
If you're building a triad, but if you're gonna build a seventh, you're gonna throw the D in there too.
But how do, okay.
Let's look
so
at it- let's look
what
at it
chord
different
would
way.
that be though?
That would be an E major.
E major, so.
Yeah, she's getting ahead. Watch this.
Sorry.
Let's do this. A, B, C. Come on, help me out, Leo.
E,
D.
E, F, G, A.
Okay. Now that's an alphabet chord, right?
Mhm.
So, in traditional harmony, all scales are in alphabetical order. No matter what scale it is. We add the sharps and flats to them for the different keys. In other words, the key of A major, it just doesn't have the straight notes. It has an F sharp, a C sharp, and you know, a G sharp. But the logic is, in alphabetical order, we build chords based on every other note in the scale, like this. Every other note. This is a triad. And this one is a seventh chord. A seventh chord because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Really?
The seventh note of the scale is in the chord.
So, sorry. A, C, E,
ACE is a triad, right?
uh-huh, and that would be.
That'd be an A
chord?
triad. Yeah, ACE is a triad, right?
Mm-hmm, because there's three notes, true.
Right. Now, from there, we can say, well, what kind of ACE are we talking about? Well, you've got A, C, E, right?
Mhm.
That's, the root is A. C is a minor third away from A. Now that you're lost there, okay, let's backtrack even further. All right. I knew this was going to happen today. Okay.
Sorry.
No, this is good. This is actually good because people are afraid to say they don't know this. And I've been teaching for 35 years, and I know when people are afraid to say they don't know, here's the rules. Watch this. Now, let's go below the major scale. Let's go chromatic. What's chromatic?
Every note in
Right?
I don't
scale.
know.
Chromatic is this. Instead of going like this, that's a major.
You get all the half stuff.
Chromatic is every note, like this. Watch this. Chromatic is every note. And each note is separated by one half step, okay? So chromatic scale, let's talk about a chromatic scale. A sharp, B, C,
Okay.
C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F. Now, A sharp is the same note as B flat. That's called an enharmonic equivalent. Okay, so are you clear on that? A sharp and B flat are the same note? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, likewise, C sharp and D flat are the same note. D sharp and E flat are the same note. F sharp and G flat are the same note. G sharp and A flat are the same note. And it keeps going, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So that's the chromatic number line we're talking about, right there.
Makes perfect sense.
You should write that on the back of the page. Copy that thing in its entirety.
I did. Oh, I wrote it right here.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's the chromatic number line. That's the basis of half steps and whole steps. Okay, so if you're talking a chord, we measure the distance from one note in the chord to the next using half steps.
Okay.
So if we're going from here, 0, that's 1 half step, 2 half steps, 3 half steps, 4 half steps, 5 half steps, 6 half steps, 7 half steps, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 half steps, right? Okay. So if we're talking from A to C now, here's A, and here's C, right?
It's almost
A to C. Maybe we finished. We're talking about A to C.
A to C would be 4 half steps.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So A is 0, right?
Oh, you wouldn't count that one.
No. 1, 2, 3. So A to C is 3 half steps, right?
Oh, so you never count the first note?
1 is always considered 0.
Okay.
Unless you're playing a diatonic scale, then that's considered the tonic is 1. But in the chromatic scale, A is 0.
Diatonic scale is every note in a key.
Every diatonic is, the traditional definition is in key.
Okay.
Yeah. There's two kinds of music, diatonic music and chromatic music. Diatonic music was from 1400 up till 1900, and then late 1800s, early 20th century was more chromatic music, which sounds more outside. So chromatic is outside, diatonic's inside, so it's in key. That's a layman's definition.
Okay.
Okay, so A to C is 3 half steps, right? Okay, what about A to C sharp?
4 half steps.
Okay, so that's probably pretty important to write down those two things right there. It is. You guys aren't writing it down.
I got
Are
it.
you
You're just flipping me off.
I got it covered.
I wrote down.
So, when you're writing out a scale, like an A major scale, that's A, B. Now the A major scale, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. I'm going to put the sharps in, F, C, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. This one is sharped. This one is sharped. And that one is sharped. That's the major scale. And the reason why they're sharp is because the formula for a major scale has to be whole step, half step. Always whole step, half step. Whole step link, whole step, half step.
So it's always 2 whole steps and a half step?
2 whole steps and a half step, with a whole step in between. What gets created here are called tetrachords. The first 4 notes of a scale and the second 4 notes of the scale. That's the tetrachord. And that's also a tetrachord. This is only for useful in terms of how we organize music theory. So a major scale has 2 parts, which are identical, as you can see. Whole step, half step, right? Tetrachord is a Greek terminology. Tetra meaning 4, and the original word was tetrachorus, and tetrachorus meant the first 4 notes of the scale. And so this tetrachorus for a major scale is the same as the tetrachorus for this part of the scale. The upper and lower parts are identical. And that's the formula for a major scale. Both of them are the same. Minor scale has a different type of tetrachord. Mixolydian scale is different. Harmonic minor is different. They're all different types of tetrachords that make up the scales. Different spelling for scales.
That D is a whole step?
D, C sharp to D is a half step.
E is the whole step.
D to
D
E
to
is
E
a,
is a whole step.
yeah.
Okay. And then it's whole step, whole step.
Yeah. So that's the formula for a major scale. Whole step, half step, whole step link, whole step, half step. Now, some schools like at GIT, they write it like this. Okay. I studied at the Berklee College of Music and the Dick Grove School of Music, and we always do it like this.
Did you say Dave Grohl School of Music? Is that what you just said?
No.
Dick Grove.
Okay, I was like, what?
Dave Grohl, yeah. That'd
Okay.
probably be cool.
Right? He's pretty talented.
We wrote it out like that because it's easier visually to see the two parts of the scale. The GIT, MI, they write it like that,
Yeah, in the book it's like that.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, it's just, this is easier visual to see the two
Okay,
parts.
so can you explain it one more time just so I can be very clear?
Yeah, sure.
Whole step, half step.
Yeah.
Then the whole step that you have in the middle, I think that's what you're asking. Then it's whole step, half step. Is it only like that?
Well, when you take a scale, and we're talking about the major scale,
Mm-hmm.
here's the sound of it. Right?
Mhm.
You familiar with that sound? You sure?
Mhm.
All right. So we got the distance between the first note and the next note. That's a whole step. The second note to the third note. That's another whole step because there's a black key in between, right?
Right. And on a
Now the
major
next
scale, you
one,
wouldn't-
there's
you wouldn't
a
do
half
that.
step because there's no black key. That's a half step. There's no black key.
Oh, okay. That makes
So we
sense.
got, starting here on C, there's a half step, there's a whole step, there's a half step, there's a whole step, there's a half step, next note, there's a half step, so there's a whole step, there's a half step and a whole step, another half step right here.
Oh, that makes sense.
So the formula follows that for the major scale, and this instrument was designed around that formula. That's why they always make you take piano for music theory, because it's all based on the keyboard. It's all laid out on the keyboard. And that's why I've given you these other sheets here. Did I give you the guitar ones? Yeah. Because the key, it's laid out on the keyboard, but no one ever shows you this, how it's laid on the guitar. And it's an eternal battle for me to teach people, well, it's a different geometry altogether on the guitar. It doesn't really even closely resemble the keyboard, you know. So I made these sheets to try to explain it that way. But anyway, so whole step, half step, that's the key of the whole thing, right? The major scale formula. That's it. I put major with 3 underlines because that's why they call it the major scale, right? Do this with me. Major,
Huh?
Whole step.
major.
Major.
That's the most important scale. Everything's based on the major scale. Everything you do from here on out will be based on that scale.
It's whole step, half step.
Whole step link,
Yeah, okay.
and then whole step. The scales have to fit that, the major scale has to fit that formula.
What if it's in a different key?
Okay, let's do a different key. Let's go, how about this key right here?
E flat.
Yeah, well, the scale has to fit, starting on that note, it still has to be whole.
That's not B flat. That's G.
That's G flat or F sharp.
Oh, my bad.
It's irrelevant. it fits
I
whole
was just
step.
proud that I knew that.
So let's count up. We gotta go a whole step above that, right?
Mhm.
That's a whole step, isn't it?
Mhm.
There's another whole step. Then we gotta go half step. Now we gotta go another whole step. Whole step.
Oh, wait, can you go back?
Whole step.
Why not play the note next to it like
So that'd be a half
before?
Whole step. Whole step. Half step.
Why not play the other white key?
Half step.
Oh, you wouldn't play that?
Well,
It doesn't sound good.
alright, that's right.
But on paper, say if you can't hear it, how come?
It has to be whole step, half step.
So if you hit that white note, you're going in half step.
You're going off the plan.
So it doesn't matter whether it's a white key or black key. Or whether
No, you
they're
stick to the
next each
formula.
other.
If it's whole step, half step, it's gonna be major, so it's gonna be,
No matter what key it is. Gotcha.
that's the major scale, isn't it?
Okay. So
To-
no matter
to
what
make-
key we're in.
To make it sound like a major scale, it's gotta fit that whole step formula,
Okay.
So the major scale fits that formula, that's the formula for the major scale. That's fixed, that's set in stone,
Okay.
that's a given. So once you know that, then everything else will be more clear.
Intervals will make a hell of a lot more sense
Yeah,
for me.
because it has to fit this formula, it has to
Okay.
fit. Now, I always write it with the link in there because I like to simplify it into 2 tetrachords. That's how I learned it 64 years ago. All right,
What?
Michael's getting antsy here. We gotta move ahead quick.
No, it's fine.
So whole step, half step. That's the most important formula that you're gonna have to memorize for the major scale. All the scales comply with that formula. That's how it works.
Okay.
Everything complies to the formula. Use- All major scales comply. That's the rule. That's the most important thing you're gonna learn. Right there. So all the major scales have to comply with the formula. Okay.
Makes way more sense.
All right, now I'm gonna leave this number line up here so we can figure this out easier. Okay, now let's start with a couple little exercises. Random. Pick a note, any note. G. Okay, so step 1, to write out a major scale, alphabetical order first. Write that down, step 1, alphabetical order. So step 1, alphabetical order. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So that's step 1. We just write the tones in alphabetical order. Because the scales are always going to be in alphabetical order no matter what. Unless you're talking about more obscure scales like, harmonic minors and stuff like that, I'll use sometimes non-alphabetical tones. But anyway, major scale, always alphabetical order. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay? Well, step 2, if you follow these steps in order, you'll never go wrong. So step 2, you put it in the formula. So the formula, we're going to put the formula in. Whole step, half step, whole step link, whole step, half step. That's step 2. You guys got it? Okay, now, the last step. Everybody always does the last step before they even do the first step. That's how they always get screwed up. I see it over and over again in lots of students. Step 3, the final step. Analyze it. So, G to A. What do we got here? G to A, is that a whole step?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's good, all right? A to B, is that a whole step?
Yep.
Good, okay. B to C, is that a half step? So we're good so far, right? C to D, is that a whole step? We're good so far, right? All right, D to E, is that a whole step?
Yep.
Yep. Here's D to E. All right, E to F. That's supposed to be a whole step, isn't it?
And it's a half step too.
But it's not, because E to F is a half step, isn't
It'll be
it?
F sharp.
So we gotta change it to F sharp, right? Why don't we change that to E flat?
Because then it wouldn't be
Because
a,
it
it
would
would
be
be
You
a
know,
whole
would
step.
square that one up, right?
It'd be a half step.
You have to bring
So
them.
that one has to be F sharp, right? Because it has to comply to the formula to make it sound like a major scale.
Okay.
All right? So F sharp is our note. Oh, one little thing. Whenever you make a note, the sharp goes in front of it, not after it.
Oops.
Whenever you make a letter, it's English, so the sharp follows
Oh,
after.
okay.
Okay. So E to F sharp, that's a whole step. Now F sharp to G, that's supposed to be, according to the formula, it's supposed to be a half step. Is it F sharp to G?
Yeah, it's
Automatically half step. So the key of G
one sharp.
has one sharp in
Yeah,
it,
that's it.
and that's F sharp,
Oh, that is brilliant.
right here.
Oh, okay, that just clicked. That makes a lot of sense.
Good. Okay. So that's these 3 steps. If you can write those down and copy that down, that's going to be real
Can you
helpful.
put that last statement that you just made into words? So I can write it down? So it would be, okay, so the key of G only has one sharp. So when we find the key signature of G, it would, okay,
The only sharp in it is F.
the only sharp in it
Yeah.
is F sharp. Okay.
And that'll work no matter what key you're in.
The whole step and half step formula works straight across the board.
Okay.
So say for instance, if the key was E,
E, let's do
there'd
E.
be 4 sharps, right?
Why? Let's figure that out.
Formula.
Formula, yeah. The formula stays consistent. Once you stay with the formula, you'll never go wrong. All right, so the key of E. We're going to write it out first in alphabetical order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm not even going to pay attention to the key signature at all. I don't even know what it is. I do, but I mean, I'm just saying. All right, here, E. Help me out here, Leo. E, F, right? What's after F? G, A, B, C, D, E, right? E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, what's the next on the list? The formula.
Put it into the formula.
Whole step, half step, right? Make a big W. See, your head's both the middle of the W, right?
I got it.
That E supposed to be on the...
Yeah.
I was like, I thought maybe I messed up, but I was like, no.
Yeah, I got this right back when I was 69.
I want to know your beauty secrets.
All right.
Okay, so then you'd go E to F.
Yeah.
That's not a whole
I always
step.
screw things up
So
like
then
that.
you'd make it
And they're on YouTube, and all these people make comments about it. Hey, excuse me, sir. The last note you put an F instead of an E. I'm like, yeah.
So, okay, so from E to F, that's only a half step, and it needs to be a whole step.
Well, wait, you're jumping the gun, right? You're
Yeah.
analyzing before we do that.
Yeah, put it in the
Oh,
formula.
then you put
See?
it, okay. Sorry,
Right, so you stick to the steps, you don't go wrong, right?
seriously.
So, we put in the formula, right?
No, it's not what you meant when you were telling me that during our class.
What's that?
You were telling me the same thing, that I'm jumping ahead when we were in class, and now I understand why you said.
If you stick to the formula, you stick to the plan, you never go wrong. All right. The only reason I know this is I've been teaching this for 35 years, back and forth. And I had to figure out a way that would just cement it down like a rubber stamp on paper. Whole step, half step, whole step, link, whole step, half step. Yeah, whole step, half step, whole step, link. Yeah, what I would do is, if I were you, is I would visually line it up. So let me see. You got it.
Yeah, I was trying to find a good way to.
I would line it up in the center there. It's pencils.
I know, I need a sharp one. But like that,
You
right?
can use the one in the library.
There's a sharp one?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the front corner of the library, there's in the back by the couch. Okay, so the formula is what keeps it sounding like a major scale. If you change the formula, it's no longer a major scale, is it? It's some other kind of scale. And that's where you get minor scales.
You wrote W instead of H.
What's that?
WW, you wrote an extra W.
Yeah, man. I told you back when I was 69 I was getting these things right. Okay.
Good, correctly quality music.
For a little while. Anyway, I went there in the 70s, and I also went to Dick Grove School of Music, you know, and I studied with all the guys at GIT, and then I studied privately with a lot of guitarist teachers back in the 70s and 80s for a lot of years, and I was in a bunch of orchestras. I've been studying music for a long time.
You know that?
Bam! Got it.
You was one of my classes?
F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, D
Oh,
sharp. Yes. All right.
Okay. We'll wait for her to come back to print it.
So you divide formulas.
He was weird dude, man. Back in 1977. Very pale, lived off campus.
Who was?
Steve Vai.
Oh, really? You knew Steve Vai?
I was his classmate.
That's
What?
awesome. That's- You don't keep in contact still? That'd be awesome.
Well, it wasn't
That'd be
open, but
amazing.
this nice
Famous.
young gentleman gave me a new pencil.
It wasn't open?
No, it's locked.
You just opened it.
Well, pretty sure I
Trolls.
tried it. He just
Yep.
told me it was locked.
Trolls
I
in the
just-
dungeon.
I just unlocked it. Do this with me.
You do that all the time. That's why I have a ring.
That's what,
on
you know, those squirrels do that. When you go outside, those squirrels, they give you those dirty looks. Like you're up to something.
Okay.
All right.
That's bitching. That makes it so much easier.
So, we decided that we're gonna stick to the formula.
Okay.
You know, I corrected the formula. Whole step, half step. That's the lower tetrachord of the scale, right? Whole step link, whole step, half step. Now, we did step 2. Now, using our chromatic number line, let's analyze it. Okay? So what do we got here?
Yeah.
E to F is a whole step, right?
Wrong.
No.
No, it's a half step, so we gotta make that,
F sharp.
why don't we make that E flat then?
Because then you're
We
not.
changed the root.
You're not in the same key.
We changed the root, man.
We have to leave the root note?
You have to leave the
Always?
root note in terms of the tonic, that's the root. E is the root. If you change the root, it's no longer E, it's E flat, right?
So, why is that bad?
You wanna go to a different key? It's like,
If we started in the key, that's what this one doing. So.
where the key is.
Yeah, but we don't have the key signature yet, so couldn't we just create it?
We could,
Well, that's what we're trying to
but
find out.
we're trying to find out the key signature for the key of E.
Not E.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you change it to E flat, it's no longer E, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't know.
We're trying for
Keeping
E.
it there.
Yeah. So this should be F sharp, right?
Right.
Okay.
Forgive me, I'm just asking questions.
That's all right.
Because I don't know what the
All
hell I'm
right,
doing.
so E to F sharp is a whole step, right? F sharp to G,
That's it.
that's a half step, isn't it? But it has to be, according to the formula, a whole step, right?
Uh-huh.
So F sharp is here, we need it to go a whole step. So it has to be G sharp, right? Okay, now we got G sharp to A, that's a half step, right? And the formula says it has to be a half step, right?
So you're good.
So we're good.
Alright, so we're good for this part of the scale, that's good, right? Alright, now, what about the next part of the scale?
A to B is a whole step.
A to B, that's supposed to be a whole step according to the formula, and what do we got here? It's a whole step, isn't it? So we're good, alright? Right? Alright, now here we go. B to C, according to the formula, it's supposed to be a whole step,
It's
right?
half step.
So it's a half step, so he's gotta go
C
to
sharp?
C sharp, right?
Holy shit, I understand.
Now, C sharp to D, according to the formula,
Whole step.
it's gotta be a whole step, right? The C sharp to D is not a whole step, it has to be D sharp, right? Okay. And D sharp to E is a half step. According to the formula, it's a half step, so we're good.
Dude,
So-
4 sharps in the key of E, and they're F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp.
Yeah, which is your next question, how do you write it?
I see 8 sharps.
We got F sharp,
Oh, I counted, never
G
mind.
sharp,
I wrote the long
C
note,
sharp.
I counted,
D sharp.
so there's 4. I counted the notes
Sharps
too.
always follow this format like this.
Really? Okay, so where would you write them in?
F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, B sharp. F, C, E, B.
That's really cool.
That's the pattern. It's always a pattern of sharps.
So
Should I write
basically,
that?
they go.
They go 2, 3, and 2. Always for sharps.
Okay.
I mean, you get that.
But they're on the same ledger line as their note would be then, correct?
Well, you could go F sharp here, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the next one is going to be C sharp. The next one's going to be G. A lot of people mistakenly do that one. But what you want is the one up high.
Will Reed mark you down if you know?
I don't think he will, but some guys will.
Okay.
F, C, G should be up there.
Okay.
And then the next one's D, then A, E, and B. That's the order that they're
2 through
in.
2.
Yeah, and the order is F sharp, C sharp, G, D, A, E, B. There's been a million people with different acronyms and mnemonic devices to memorize that. Fat cats go down alleys and eat bagels or whatever. I don't know.
What did you say?
I don't have good ones for it.
He had a good one though.
Father Charles goes down in Penn's battle.
There you go.
Let's see.
Now, on this subject, flats are the opposite.
So it would be
So flats would be like this.
3, 2, 3.
B, E, A, D, G, C, F.
Oh, okay, so it goes the other way.
Yeah, and it's spelled backwards, B flat, like this. No, take your time.
do it. It's the original thing.
Ooh.
So it's just backwards.
Flats are backwards from sharps, yeah.
So if I just remember this,
F, C, G, E, A, E, B is the order of sharps.
then I would just go backwards.
Backwards is B,
Battle
E.
ends and down goes Charles' father. I like that one better.
Okay. Okay, so this is how we make major scales. We just did A and we did E. Is it making more sense?
Absolutely.
This is the key to doing it right. If you
So
follow
true. Right,
these three
on the
steps,
back.
you always get it right. Okay, so that leads us to the next one, which is the first one on the page. A circle of fifths. Okay. Okay, so the circle of fifths is always scary for everybody because it's like this huge, holy grail. It's just the way we organize music theory is all it is.
Can I write them here?
Sure. And everybody puts it in a circle, so because it keeps going around and around and around again. But it's easier to understand if you don't use a circle to start with, you use a matrix instead. So if we start with a key that has no sharps and flats, do you know which key that is?
C.
C. So you start here, C. Okay, so that's your first key right there, right? How many sharps and flats is that? None, right?
Yeah, I think your E is missing a line.
Yeah, it's like FF. You're losing me.
I told you back when I was 69, I got these things right.
All the time.
All right,
And then zero.
all right, now that's our basic home base of circle of fifths, right? So do you have your circle of fifths diagram? It's up at the top, right? So that's, key signature is correct, no sharps and flats, right? Now, so the next key along the circle of fifths, how do we do that? Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we count up to 5. So that's our next key.
Why does it say F on the paper though?
That's the circle of fourths. Or the other way.
Oh, okay, see, I'm looking at it like the clock.
So it's there.
Oh. It's going this way.
You can go either way. You can write them either. It doesn't matter.
So these ones would be the sharps and these ones would be the
Yeah,
flats.
exactly. All right. So it doesn't matter which side you start on.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant.
I just have to memorize.
Okay. Well, you don't have to do that as long as you know these little techniques.
Yeah.
All right. So we go up to the fifth note of the scale to get our next scale. That's the rule. Circle of fifths.
Oh,
To get to the next key, go up 5 notes.
okay. Let me write that.
Okay. So I'm gonna go the fifth note of the scale right here. Start here with G. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah? So, alphabetical order, right?
Wait, why are we starting with G?
Because that's the fifth of off of C.
Oh, okay, so you don't do A.
Well, A is going to be your fifth off of B.
Go to the fifth note of the scale. That's to get our next key.
Okay. So, yeah.
That's the rule. That's like, why is it a stop sign? Why does it say S-T-O-P? That's how you spell stop.
So we-
Yeah.
So we start with the fifth.
Fifth. We're in the circle of fifths, so we're starting with fifths.
Makes sense.
So, go to G. All right, what's the next note? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? D. I'm just doing alphabetical order, right?
Yep.
I'm not putting in the formulas yet, am I?
Nope.
It's much easier to do it this way, trust me. People are always stopping. Well, wait, don't you put it short? I went, yeah.
I know this because all I play are 1, 4, 5 progressions. Like,
Yeah.
this is just beaten into my brain.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the next key, right? A, right? What's the next key? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the next key, Gerald?
F.
No.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. E.
E. Okay, next key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5.
I didn't like that.
B, right?
Only one thing
Okay, what's the next key? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Now what's the next key? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right.
to do. So,
Now, what you should do is you should have shirts made up that have this on it. And then print them upside down so you can stare at it.
I was gonna.
Those are test shirts.
Phil was gonna bring in a belt he has that has a keyboard on
That's
it.
it? I just keep having 5 and I'll know the
Step
next
one.
one? Oh.
That's how simple it is though.
Dude.
That's how simple the
Why
circle
didn't he
is.
just explain this?
I told you because he's like Albert Einstein. He knows
He so is.
advanced calculus around the rings of Saturn. This stuff to him is like, you should have learned this back in 3rd grade.
You should teach music theory 3 and
He
not
does
the
teach
beginning
music
class.
This these 3. Okay, here
Do
we
you
go.
teach all the theory classes?
He does, he does. He should not teach the beginning classes though.
He's the director of the department.
He can do what he wants.
Okay, here we go. So, this is the circle of fifths, but we call this the matrix of fifths because it's a square, right? We're not doing a circle yet. So that's the alphabetical order, step 1, right? You with me?
Yeah.
We just did it in alphabetical order, right?
So okay.
So now next step 2 is put in the formulas, right?
Right.
So how do we do that? In Michael's honor, oh wait, you like green, right?
No, I like blue
Blue?
for the blues.
That's right. I should remember that, huh? All right, so now we're gonna put in the formulas, huh, Gerald?
Yes.
So that's step 2, huh? Right?
Writing step 2.
So the formulas are real easy, right? Whole step, half step, whole step, link. Now I'm just gonna circle the link so you know it's a link, okay? I'm gonna do them on this side of the page, over here like this. And then our links in the center. And then the same thing, whole step, half step on this side, the upper tetrachord. Okay, so that's step 2. We learned we have a whole sheet of scales with the whole steps and half steps listed. Now the step 3 is to analyze the scales and make the sharps and flats fit the formula, right? You with me on that? Step 3, we put the sharps and flats in.
Okay.
We analyze it and put the sharps and flats in, right?
Right.
That's step 3. So we get a completion after we put the sharp and flats in, right? So this is where the magic happens, where you understand it. Okay, C to D is a whole step. D to E is a whole step. E to F is a half step. F to G is a whole step. G to A is a whole step. A to B is a whole step. B to C is a half step. No modification on that one, huh?
Because you're in C.
Because we're in C, right?
But that, doesn't the circle, the slash also mean flat 5?
What?
If you're looking at a chord,
Half diminished,
which is a flat 5.
but I'm used to computerese where the zeros always have a line through them when you're writing the number 0. So forgive me. I use those from my computer days. We just write a 0 like this. But I always put a line through it just to make sure people know it's not an O. All right, so now we got the next key, G. What was, from what we remember, what was the sharp in the key of G? You remember, Geraldine? In the key of G, we had one sharp, right? Remember it? Do you remember it? F sharp, right? Okay, so the key of G, one sharp. So we're over here. That's F sharp. All right? Because that
has
E-
to be a constant.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, so now the next key, D. Well, we got D to E is a whole step. E to F
That's only
No.
half step.
has to be a whole step though, right? So we have to make it F sharp, right?
Yeah.
But hey, wait a minute. We could just borrow the F sharp from the previous key. We don't even have to analyze it. We can just put it in. Because we already know that this key is automatically going to have that sharp in it. Let me say it again. If you have this key here, it's got one sharp in it. If you go up to the 5th,
Oh, because we're just
and you
going
go
to
to the next key,
continue
we're
on.
going to continue on. That's going to retain the
So that F
previous.
sharp will be there throughout the whole thing.
After that, all the way through.
Oh, kind of like how I wrote it here.
Yeah. But we
Makes
can
sense.
double check it by analyzing the tetrachords.
Right.
But let's do it this way first, so Michael sees where the order of the sharps and flats comes from when you write it, okay? So F sharp to G is a half step, G to A is a whole step, A to B is a whole step, B to C, that's supposed to be a whole step, but it's a half step. So we gotta make that C sharp, right? So that's our new sharp, isn't it? C sharp, half step to D, right? So the key of D has
2 sharps.
2 sharps.
Which are F and C.
See the order now?
Mm-hmm.
Starting to form?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay.
So cool.
So what's the next key?
A.
A.
That's 3 sharps.
So what's obvious at this point? Well,
The two
we're going to retain
2 of the sharps are going to be F and C.
F and C, right? So we got F sharp and C sharp. We're going to carry those over from the D key, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last note of the scale is always the new sharp, isn't it?
So G.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, yeah. So that's the G sharp. It's the next key, right? So then we got 3 sharps there.
Holy crap.
I know, right?
Okay. So what about the key of E? Well, how many sharps are we going to retain now?
3.
So the sharps are going to be F,
G, C, and D.
Mm-hmm.
and then one more, always the 7th. Last note of the scale is going to be the new sharp, right? Are you with me on that?
Is it always the last note?
Yeah, because we started here with C,
Yeah.
then went to the 5th, and the
Seems
7th
like it.
note was the first note sharp. And when we got to D, the C sharp was the next sharp we had to add, and then we got to A, the G sharp was the next sharp we had to add. When we get to E,
So the D
the
sharp.
D sharp is the next one we have to
It's
add.
always true, but only for major scales?
Only for major scales.
Well, we're not really doing anything else right now, right?
You don't need
So-
to. Minor scales are just major scales starting from a different note, so I'll show you that in a minute.
Okay.
All right. So what about the key of B?
They're going to be F.
What are the sharps going to be, Geraldine? Take a look up here.
F sharp. Oh, well, I have it here.
Okay.
F sharp,
F sharp.
G sharp, C sharp, D sharp, and F
What's-
sharp.
Well, we got those 4. What's the new sharp going to be?
A.
A sharp, right? So this is the key of B, isn't it? What's after the key of B?
F.
Well, it can't be F. It has to be F sharp, doesn't it? So we have to modify that now. We're following the circle of fifths.
Oh.
See? We're still in this, using this template as the natural order, but when we get to F sharp, we carry that F sharp over here. So it's the key of F sharp. And what are the sharps that carry over?
G sharp.
G sharp.
C sharp. D sharp. And F sharp.
And A sharp.
Oh yeah.
So what's the new sharp?
E.
E sharp. What's E sharp?
It's F.
Yeah, E sharp is F, isn't it?
Mhm.
Why don't we call it F?
Because because in theory you need a C sharp or an E sharp to exist.
Well, basically, the reason we don't call that F, even though it is F, is because they didn't want to have two Fs in the same scale.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How come it? Okay. It ends on E, and then it goes to B instead of F.
Because we
You
go
lost
1,
me
2,
there.
3, 4, 5.
That's why.
We're in the
Okay.
circle of fifths, right?
Yeah, that's what I messed up on. I stopped counting.
Okay, and then here's B. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, F sharp.
Gotcha.
And then F sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to C sharp. So the next key is going to be C sharp. Now C sharp requires special treatment. And here's the special treatment. You don't have to memorize it. It's easy. C natural is all natural keys, no flats or sharps.
C sharp.
C sharp's all sharps. C flat's all flats.
Oh, all of it?
All of it.
Oh.
You don't have to memorize anything. C sharp, everything's sharp. C flat, everything's flat. C sharp, everything's sharp. C flat, everything's flat. That's all you gotta know. You don't have to memorize too much. So, we just sharp everything. Boy, we got F, C, G, D, A, E. And the last one, we have a B sharp.
So when we go up to minor, it's all the exact same notes, just different order.
We'll cover that right after the circle of fourths.
We'll have to leave it now.
Okay.
So that's what I'm asking.
Minor, you just count up to the sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's it?
That's it.
And do the same
C
thing?
major is A minor.
Do we have the same accident?
Your relative minor key, this is the minor key right here. The 6th degree. So, G major equals E minor. D major equals B minor. A major equals F sharp minor. E major equals C sharp minor. B major equals G sharp minor. F sharp major equals D sharp minor. C sharp major equals A sharp minor. So that's, for minor keys, you just count to the 6th note of the major scale. So key of C has 0 sharps, key of G has 1 sharp, key of D has 2 sharps, key of A has 3 sharps,
Key B is 4.
E has 4, B has 5, F sharp has 6, C sharp has 7, right?
Isn't the 5th off of B, G flat?
Well, it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, G5, that's right.
And harmonic, right?
Yeah, that's,
Okay. Now, so minor keys are counting up to the 6th note of the major scale, right? Right? You get it?
Mhm.
So, if I have a key signature that has 2 sharps in it, what minor key is that? First you gotta go to the major scale. Well, that's D, so that's a B minor key, isn't it?
So you look at the 6th note in the scale.
Yeah. If you have a key signature that has 4 sharps in it, what minor key is that?
It's
What's the major key?
E.
E, right? So the minor key is gonna be C sharp minor, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you have a major key that has 3 sharps in it, what's the minor key?
F.
F sharp.
F sharp. If you have a key that has 5 sharps in it, what's the minor key?
G sharp.
G sharp. G sharp minor.
Minor.
Okay, so you got all this?
Mhm.
All right, the next is the circle of fourths. What do you do for the circle of fourths now? Guess.
Count 4 notes.
Count to 4, right? So major, you count up to 6 and you get the relative minor key. Minor and major are the same scale, starting on a different spot.
Okay.
All right. Can I erase this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where do you have to go? You have to go to Afghanistan?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Nah. I just I have a camp study.
See, he's been one of my students for a long time. He knows he has to roll with jokes immediately. People in the class go, what?
Did you ever find
That's
the
right.
world's fastest guitar player?
On the 10 freeway?
Yeah.
Gil Sandoval.
Really?
From Pomona.
Really?
Yeah, he can make it out to San Bernardino rush hour traffic in 2 hours
Wow.
from Santa Monica.
Wow.
What?
It's a contest that we had.
Oh gosh, sounds like a dangerous one.
Well, no, because my friend Scott showed me the video, and he was like, when I first watched it, he was like, I thought he was just gonna do some cool guitar shit, but nope, he's just trolling. Because his video was like contest for the world's fastest guitar player.
On the 10 freeway.
Yeah, and then it was on.
Oh, driving wise.
Yeah,
Play on words.
not playing
Okay, gotcha.
wise.
You got a lot of response though. Even Paul Gilbert said he liked it.
You know Paul Gilbert too?
I don't really know him. No, I only brushed him a couple times at the NAMM show and stuff like that.
It's still amazing.
I want to go to nature.
Okay, so we talked about the circle of fifths.
Pepper, is it okay if I run to Barb's and get something to eat while we're still open? Because I'm starving.
You want to take a break then? Okay, yeah.
You can still roll with me,
Yeah.
Okay.
unless you want to take a break.
I know the fourth.
Yeah, see, I'll catch up.
All right, let me just get a drink then.
You can take a break. You want to take a break?
Good luck on the test,
You said
man.
it's gonna be on YouTube, right?
You give me about 3 days.
Oh, but eventually. You
Yeah.
don't even need it like now. Just eventually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Okay. All right, so we're talking about fourths.
Mm-hmm.
Fourths are the corollary of the fifths.
So just
Circle
count
and fourths
four?
and fifths, it's the same circle.
Oh, so just count 4 instead of 5.
Yeah, if you count at 5, you get all the sharp keys. If you count at 4, we get all the flat keys.
So the circle of fourth is just basically the flat keys.
Yeah.
Are you
So
serious?
we start again with C, right?
Mhm.
Here's fourth. Start again with C, D, E, F, G.
Now, do you always start with C?
Yeah, because C has no sharps or flats, right?
Right.
So that's our basis for it all, is no sharps or flats.
So that's just like the neutral, so it's beginning spot for both.
That's like home base.
Gotcha.
Why? Look at the piano. It's the white keys.
Oh,
Key of C is all the white keys.
that's true.
So that's why.
Okay.
Here's C, and the major scale is all these white keys, right?
Yeah. But other keys aren't like that. Like you have to go up, right?
Other keys have a combination of white and black.
Yeah.
C is home base because it's the white keys on the piano.
Okay.
And the music theory is designed around the piano, so that's why we use C. All right, so fourths. What's the next key? 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
So it'd be F, right?
So it'd be F, right? Okay, so now, what are the steps? Step 1, alphabetical order. So we're going to write the whole thing out as a matrix in alphabetical order without regard to the formula, without regard to the sharps and flats. We're just going to make a matrix of notes in alphabetical order.
Okay.
That's step 1. And if you do it a couple times tonight, you'll ace a test on that.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. So watch this. You go F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. What's the next key? 1, 2, 3, 4. B, right? So what's the next key?
G, A, B.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, E.
E, right.
E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E.
Okay. And after E,
A?
A, right. 1, 2, 3, 4 is A. So A, B, C, D, E,
D.
F, G, A. And the next one? 1, 2, 3, 4. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D.
So G.
The next one is G, yeah. 1.
So C.
And the last one? 1, 2, 3, 4. C, exactly.
That's freaking cool.
Okay, so those are
All these should
that's
be
the circle of
out
force before we apply the treatment, right? All right, so step 2 is you put the formula in, right?
Mhm.
So you make your little WWHs, right?
Right.
Now Michael's not here, so we're not gonna use blue anymore. In your honor, we're gonna use green.
Green's my favorite color.
Okay, so whole step, half step, whole step link, whole step, half step, 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 whole step, half step. And then all your links here. And then whole step, half step up here. All right, so now, what do we got here? We got the circle of force. So now, step 3 is we put in the sharps and flats. We analyze it and put in the sharps and flats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So C we don't have to do, right? C is the first one, that's the given, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all the white keys,
So
right?
that's 0.
Okay.
Right.
So the next key, F, well, let's analyze that. F to G, is that a whole step?
Yeah.
Good, okay. So then, F to G is a whole step. G to A, is that a whole step?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, the formula requires the next pair of notes to be a half step. But it's not. A to B is a whole step, so we gotta make that a half step. How do we do that?
Put it flat on
Well, if we put a flat on A, that makes
A. I
it
mean on B.
on B, right, B flat. Okay, so then that automatically cures the problem of B to C, right? B to C is supposed to be a whole step, but B flat to C becomes the whole step, right? B to C is always a half step, isn't it?
Right. Well,
Because here you got,
here's where I'm lost.
here's E and F, right?
Mhm.
And here's B and C. Those are the natural half steps right there.
Yeah. Okay.
So B and C are a half step, right? But
It
according to
needs
the
to be a
formula, it
whole
needs to be a
step.
whole step. But we already made it a B flat to comply with,
Oh, okay. So then it's a whole step,
right?
right?
So B flat to C is a whole step, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And then the rest of it?
Whole
C to D
step.
is a whole step?
D to E is a whole step.
T to E is a whole step?
E to F is a half step.
Right, and that complies with our whole step, half step, doesn't it?
So E to F is a half step. So whole step. See, this is where I'm confused. Oh, because there's the black key in the middle. That's right. Okay. So there's one flat.
One flat, and that's B flat, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the magic here. Look what happens. Oh, wait a minute. We count to 4, and that's our flat. And that becomes our next key.
Right.
So the next key is B flat,
E
isn't it?
flat.
Right?
Okay.
Well, our first flat that we added was the 4th one, wasn't it? It's also the next key, isn't it?
Right.
So we can use that same logic and go 1, 2, 3, 4,
E. Also, it will be every fourth.
and then that becomes the new flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we keep that one from the previous one, right? We keep that B flat over here, don't we?
Right.
We keep it, right? We always keep retain the preceding flats.
Right.
So the new flat's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4,
A.
A flat. And that becomes the next key, doesn't it?
Which means that there will be three flats.
Yeah, so we retain all the previous flats. We can, we retain
So then
the
A
B flat,
flat,
we retain the B flat,
E
and we
flat,
retain the E flat, and then we have to add one new flat, which is the 4th degree, right?
D.
D flat.
So then the next one becomes D flat.
D flat,
And then
right?
we keep the E.
We keep the E,
We keep
the
the
B, we keep,
B. And we keep the A.
and we keep the A, and the new one is
G.
G flat.
We keep the A, the B, E, and the D. Do we have D? No, not D yet. And then it becomes C.
Okay, so we're here at G flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that becomes the next key, right?
Right.
G flat,
And we keep the A,
and we keep the A,
the B,
we keep the B, we keep the E. Oh, this D didn't get flatted.
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to be.
These are supposed to be flatted down here, see? All right, I told you, when I was 69, I got it right. Anyway, so G to A flat to B flat, we keep the D flat, and we keep the G flat on the end. All right? So we count 1, 2, 3, 4 to C, C flat. And we just remembered already that C flat, we don't have to memorize anything, do we? Because all the notes are flat, right?
Oh, yeah. Just like all the notes are sharp. in the
Yeah.
other one?
So that's fourths. So let's take a look at these keys. Key of F has one flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
B flat, right?
Yes.
Key of B flat has how many flats?
2.
So look at which ones they are. Right here.
B flat is E flat.
B flat, there's F, and then E flat.
Okay.
So B flat and E flat, the two flats in the key of B flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Key of E flat, look at the flats. We got 3 of them, right?
1, 2, 3.
But here's the order.
But how come all the end ones are flat? I don't count
Because
those?
it's the same note as this, right?
Oh, so, okay, so just ignore that.
So this note has to be the same note as the first note, right?
Alright, that's
Right.
true. Okay, but we don't count them.
No, they're not additionally counted.
Right, okay. It threw me off a minute.
That's all right. All right, so key of F has one flat, it's B flat. Key of B flat has two flats, B flat and E flat. Key of E flat has three flats,
Mhm.
B flat, E flat, and then A flat,
And B flat.
B flat, E flat, A flat,
We're talking about E flat, right?
Yeah.
Key?
B flat,
flat,
E flat, A flat, right?
Uh-huh.
B flat, E flat, A
And
flat,
then
right?
A would be
A flat, A flat key
B flat,
has four flats,
D
B,
flat,
E,
and E.
A, D, right? That's B, E, A, D. That's A flat key, four flats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Five flats is gonna be the key of D flat, it's gonna be B, E, A, D, G,
A, B, E, A, D, G.
B, E, A, D, G, that's D flat, key of D flat is five flats. Six flats is gonna be the key of G flat, so that's gonna be B, E, A, D, G, C.
Oh,
That's-
you're counting backwards. Kind of?
I'm following this order for the flats. The fourth, that's the order that you print them in on the staff. You go down the circle of fourths. So it's gotta be B, E, A, D, G, C, and the last one's gonna be F.
Okay. Because this is all the fourths.
Yeah, that's the order that flats appear.
Uh-huh.
But the reason why they appear in that order is because it follows this formula of the circle of fourths.
Okay. And then you just, okay, once you figure that out, then you go back and count how many flats are in it and which ones?
Once you figure which out.
These. The middle. What you circle.
Well, we write all the scales first, and not in alphabetical order,
Mm-hmm.
and we count to four, and we get each of the next scale, right?
Yeah.
Then we put our flats in, we analyze it with whole steps and half steps, then we put our flats in. This is what we get as the end result. We get a table of scales.
I guess I'm
Each scale
confused on
starting-
the middle, just the middle part, like.
Well, this is the fourth note of the scale, right?
Uh-huh.
That's how you get the next scale. You count to the fourth, and you complete the scale, and you get to the fourth note of the scale, and you get to the next scale,
Yeah.
and you get to the fourth note, and you get to the next scale, fourth note, next scale, and so on. These notes are the order of the flats listed in a key signature.
That's
where
what
they
I was
come.
confused about.
That's where they come from.
Okay. So that's how I would know which one it's in, right?
Well, there's a quick way to do it, and I'm gonna show you that in a second.
Okay.
But you get all this down?
Yes.
Okay. All right, this is gonna be your lifesaver on the test, the next one. This is gonna be the one that you wish you knew this already.
I wish I knew all of this already.
Okay, if you get a test on key signatures, here's how it works. What key is that? D. D. You know that already, good. If you don't know it, here's a trick to learn how to do it. Are you watching?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
If you don't know what that key is and you get a test and you see that, you go, oh. Last sharp, up a half step. Last sharp, up a half step.
Okay.
So that's the last one. That's a C sharp, right? Up a half step is D, right?
Okay, so this one will be C sharp, and we just go up a half step.
C sharp, half step above C sharp is note D, right?
Mhm.
So D is the key. All right, using that logic. What are those sharps? F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. That's the last sharp, isn't it?
Mhm.
So that's the last sharp. If it's A sharp, what's up a half a
B
step?
sharp
B.
or just B? Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right? So that's the key of B.
So all I have to do is figure out where each one of those are, what
Yeah.
the notes are, right?
Yeah. The sharps always go like
And then
this.
what it ends on.
F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, B sharp. That is the order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. So, 1.
Okay, so what if this is a minor key? What key is that? Oh, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp,
B, A sharp.
G sharp minor.
Oh.
Because we count to 6, right, for minor?
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean A flat, but A flat, G sharp.
A flat's cool. Between me and you in a bar, that's good, man. Play blues, man. That's cool. A flat, that's good. But in the class in the college, it's G sharp. Man, what you talking about? Oh, G sharp, man. A flat. All right.
That's why after I graduate, I want to go down south. Just so I can
Just so you play A flat, man.
play blues with
You know
with
G sharp
real
down south,
blues
man. You don't
dudes.
use no G sharp. A flat, man. I'm telling you. All right.
Or B flat.
So
I like to play B flat.
that's the major key, B, right? So to get to the minor key, you count up to the 6th note of the B scale.
So like,
A lot of information to throw at you, huh?
I wish I would have started studying with you at the beginning of the semester. I didn't know you existed.
No one does.
No one knows
Enigma.
Okay, so like,
Even the payroll department doesn't know I exist. That's the bummer.
how
That's
come
the
you're not
worst part.
teaching here?
I teach guitar here and teach jazz band.
But you can't teach theory?
Reed teaches all the theory, and it's a
Reed's
small
wheelhouse.
music department. They only have like 3 total PhDs here teaching.
Oh, you
And
have to have a
Reed's also the
PhD?
director of the department.
Mhm.
They don't have a huge budget to have a bunch of teachers, you know?
Why?
So,
I heard they just got donated like $8 million.
yeah, but that goes to like the football stadium, doesn't it?
They
Then
better
it goes
not.
to Davenport, building their outdoor patio.
Outdoor patio and that orange artwork that goes up. That's
Oh, the
good.
Twizzler? That's
Yeah.
right outside of Miller.
Are you kidding me? That's why I'm not able to pass my music theory 1 class.
Mm-hmm.
That orange Twizzler is to blame.
Well, I'm gonna chop it down.
I'm gonna put a for sale sign on it.
I'm gonna advertise it on
Put
Craigslist.
5933511 on the sign. All
Okay,
right.
so just like this, like what I wrote here. For minors, you just count 6.
Yeah. G, A, B, C, D, E, minor, right?
Yeah.
B major.
In alphabetical order. you
Yeah,
just
B
count.
major is what? What's the minor key? B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp. You gotta stay within the key. It's gotta be sharps and flats in the key, right? So you gotta know what key it is. So B major, where's B major?
I don't get it.
You don't like B major?
I wrote on the 4th. Oh no, no, the flats.
Well.
I messed up a little when you were writing before. I was trying to keep up and write.
Okay.
But yes, I understand. Just like we just go down the line, right?
Yeah.
And
So
then
B
count all the
major
times.
equals B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right?
Mhm.
And then it's 5 sharps, they're F, C, G, D, A, right?
Mhm.
So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And G
There's your
sharp
relative
would be my
minor
relative
scale.
minor. Oh, that's so rad.
Is always the 6th.
Let me just
agreement.
copy that really quick.
Sure.
That smells delicious. Now I'm hungry. Next time. Let's work. I'm gonna totally fail if I don't know all this. So much more sense. Perfecto. And this would be my little technique. I was taking piano, I've been working with a tutor. It is not, I'm done.
Okay, so B major is the same as G sharp minor, right?
Because it's the same.
Yeah. This is the order of the sharps that you write them in.
I'm gonna write that too, just so I can know. So this would be B major.
Another visual I use for the sharps is instead of writing the sharps, I put like bullets. So you can look at it this way: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, B sharp. That's the order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That makes sense.
That's the order of the sharps. They always occur in that order. So if a key has 3 sharps in it, it's going to be these 3.
Oh.
If a key has 2 sharps in it, it's going to be those 2.
Always.
Always.
That's so cool. Okay.
So you should probably write the
How would I
bullet
write, yeah, how would I,
on the F line, on the C space, on the G space.
okay, so, sorry.
Yeah, F, C, G, D, A, E, B.
Okay, C. I'm sorry, I'm not professional at memorizing the notes yet. I just barely learned that. That's how far behind I am.
Don't worry about it. Just, you work with what you got.
I want to learn.
You progress much faster if you understand it.
Right. I was really frustrated this semester because what he taught was not a beginner's course, and
Reed is an advanced.
yeah, well, I'm
theory guy.
going to
He's
be
really
getting
advanced.
better.
And so sometimes, the beginning theory just sort of seems like everybody already knows. He starts at a level that's pretty high, and I think
Oh,
people are afraid to say something,
Yeah, they are. Duh. I couldn't ask questions because I messed up on even when I did, he was like, I'm not going over that right now. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to learn? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, if I fail this, I'm definitely writing a letter.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not okay. It's really not okay. I love him as a musician. I love him as a teacher. I've had him in other classes. He's amazing. He knows his shit. And who better to learn from? But in a beginning course where you're supposed to be teaching basic stuff, they should have a prerequisite or something then to enter his class.
Well, I always thought they should. I mean, it's all a matter of who controls the purse, Anyway, this is the order of the
Sure.
sharps.
So I'm gonna write the notes up here too.
Yeah.
This would be F sharp, right? The first note.
F sharp, C
And
sharp,
then
G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp.
Gotcha. G sharp. B sharp. E and then B. Okay. What would I label that as? The sharps?
Sharps, yeah. Okay, so that's how you write the sharps. Now, if you got an exam, we got name the key signature. And I give you this key signature. What key is that?
G sharp?
Last sharp up a half step, right?
Oh, up a half step.
G
A?
sharp up to A, right? Right. So our last sharp up a half step, right?
That's right.
Equals A. So that's A major, right?
Yeah.
So what minor is it?
I would count 6.
Right, so A, B, C sharp, D, D sharp, E.
Okay, how come they're sharps?
Well, A major is the sharps. These are the sharps in the key of A. You gotta remember, you can leave them in when you count up.
Okay. Okay.
You can just go like this.
So,
Watch this. A, B, C, D,
Yeah.
E, F, G, A, and then put them in. F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp, right? And then count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's your relative minor key.
okay. So once I do this,
It'd be F sharp minor, right?
Mm-hmm. So once I do this formula, the matrix, then I'll be able to count a lot better. And
Oh,
know
yeah.
exactly where all the sharps are. And then I'll be able to.
So the key of A major is the same as F sharp minor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got that by going up a half step, right, from there.
Right, from G sharp.
Okay, let me do one more. Okay, now, what about this key?
E, oh,
E sharp,
E sharp. E sharp.
which is the note F, right?
Yeah. So then it would be.
Up
G.
a half step from F
Oh, half
is,
step. It'd be G flat
or we're in sharps.
F sharp.
So we're in F sharp, right?
Mhm. And
So
then-
here's the logic. Here's the last
D
sharp, which is E sharp, right?
Mhm.
Up a half step
F sharp.
equals, E sharp is F, right?
F.
Up a half step equals F sharp. So that's F sharp major.
D sharp.
So the F sharp major scale is F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, right? Then we put the sharps in, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, right?
D sharp.
So that's our major key, so we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our relative minor key.
Oh, that makes sense.
So F sharp major is D sharp minor. So if you see that key signature on the test and he says, what are the minor keys for these? See, first you gotta figure out the major key first and then count up.
Right.
Then you'll get it right on the test.
Okay. So, okay. E sharp is ending.
E sharp actually is F, isn't it?
Right. I
So
think that's
up a half step
off a little.
from F is F sharp, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Because E sharp equals.
All
What
right,
did
now.
you call that before? You called that something.
And harmonic.
And harmonic. The notes that are the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, now, let's try this one here. Okay, first of all, what key is that in major?
B flat.
Right, second to last flat.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rule, second to last flat. So here's the last flat right there, right?
Right.
So the second to last flat.
Oh. Okay, so to find the minor, I go at the beginning then. Oh no, second.
Second to the last flat is the key for major.
Right, so if there were four.
Well,
I'd do the
let's
one
get there in a
before.
second.
Okay.
Let's review just for a second, because Michael just got walked in. All right, so second to the last flat is the key in flat keys, always. So that's the key of B flat. All right, let's do another one real quick.
Wait, second to last flat.
Is the key.
Is the key.
All right. Let's do this key,
And that's for minor only?
major.
Major. To find.
3 flats,
So you're in E flat?
B flat, E flat, A flat. That's the last flat, isn't it?
So E flat.
So E flat is the key, right?
Um,
So E flat major is the key, right?
Okay.
Okay, so an E flat major, let's write on the scale. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. What are the flats? B flat, E flat, and A flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the minor key? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
C.
C minor, right?
Oh,
It's the same as E flat major.
okay, that makes sense.
So 3 flats is either C minor or E flat major, right?
And either one will work?
Well, it depends on the test. If you ask for minor keys or major keys, you just write C minor. If it's major, you write E flat major.
That's cool.
I used to write E flat major / C minor on all of my tests. The teacher would, yeah, we know you know. Enough,
Will I get
enough.
extra credit if I do both? Because I really need it.
Oh, that reminds me, I was supposed to get everybody to sign the attendance sheet.
Oh, where is it? Because I want credit.
Yeah, we have to make one.
I need it. Oh, I'll make one.
Here,
I have this paper right
you know,
here.
Blake?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'll use one of the piano ones. Is that okay?
Yeah. Just write attendance sheet and the date.
You can use credit for
We were talking about that, and he probably will.
it?
Please, because I need it.
You know, it's not official, but I mean.
I have been
it's like-
so lost. Today's the 9th, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, so let's do some more flat keys real quick.
Can you, intervals?
Yeah, in about 3 minutes, okay?
He's
All right.
catching me up to you.
Okay.
Next flat key, boom, pick one.
Let's go G flat.
G flat, all right.
Looks like it's just me and you, kid.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the G flat key. Why? Because the second to the last flat is the key, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4,
1,
5,
2, 3, 4,
6,
5.
so it's a G flat.
G flat is the key, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm gonna write some flat keys up here real quick. You tell me the key real quick.
Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
2 flats, that's B flat. 3 flats, that's E flat. 4 flats, that's A flat. E flat.
What do we got here? G flat?
Wait a minute, can you explain that again?
No.
Because I thought you said
Use your head,
to
come on,
count.
think.
Well, I know that, but
Last
use-
flat up is the key in the flats, right? Second to last flat.
Yeah.
So here's the last flat, there's the second to the last flat.
Oh, okay, so that
So
would
a
be,
key of B flat, right?
okay.
What's the last flat? A flat. What's the second to last flat? E flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 flats is A flat.
A flat, right? Because there's the last flat, right?
Mhm.
A flat's the key, right?
And the last one is B flat.
B, E, A, D, G, C.
Oh.
My handwriting, probably, huh? C flat.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Quickly, what are the minor keys? G flat.
C minor.
G, A, B, C, D, E flat, right?
Yeah.
E flat, right?
Mhm.
Why? Because we have an E flat right there,
And
right?
then E flat minor.
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Minor keys.
Minor. Okay. Minor key for B flat.
G
O,
minor.
B, A, B, C, D, E, F.
B,
Oh, you
C,
count B.
D,
D,
E,
E, F,
F,
G.
G. E flat major, what
C,
minor?
F, G, A,
A,
B,
B,
C.
C. B, E, A, B, E, there's no C flat in the key, right? So it's just C, right?
Oh, because there's no sharps or flats?
Right. No. If you count it up from E flat, you just, without flats and sharps, you just go E,
Mm-hmm.
F, G, A, B, C. It's the sixth of E, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are the flats? B, E, and A. So we got E flat, F, G, A flat, D.
Oh, because we count in here.
Yeah, we're just counting the flats. B flat, E flat, and A flat. So
Okay.
in the scale, it goes E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E.
Right.
We put the flats in, B flat, E flat, and A flat, right? There's no C flat. But
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Would
That's
just
the
be
minor.
C.
C
I got
minor.
you. I got you right here. Okay.
So C minor is the key.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, A flat major, what minor key is that?
Oh.
A flat, B, C, D, E, F minor, right? Is there any F flat in the keys here? No, so it's
No.
just F minor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next one, C flat minor. C, D, E, F, G, A. There's an A flat, right? Right there. So it's A flat minor, right? Yeah, yeah.
Because
Okay.
7
Okay, here's how you do intervals. That's a whole nother subject too. So intervals, we'll start here. Okay, so if we write out the note C as our bottom note, and then we write out the C major scale above that, like this, we got C and C, C and D, C and E, C and F, C and G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Those are all the, what are called diatonic intervals, not chromatic. These are in the key of C. So the first interval is C and C. Do you know what that's called? That's called a unison.
Oh, yeah. Same notes.
Okay. The next interval, C and D together, are a whole step apart or 2 half steps apart, right? That interval is called a major second. And that is a whole step apart or 2 half steps apart.
So what was that called again? A major second?
Major second. People always also call it just second,
Okay, and that is
C and D.
whole step?
Whole step or 2 half steps.
Okay.
And the next one's a third, correct?
Next is a third, but in the major key, it's a major third, right? So major third is 2 whole steps.
Or 4 half steps.
Well, no, it's, yeah, 4 half steps. Yeah. You're right. Okay, after the third, we got another interval. It's not a major or minor, it's called perfect. Perfect fourth. That's the name of it,
The
perfect.
next one would be a perfect fifth, right?
Yeah, so we got a perfect fourth, perfect fifth, and the sixth would be a major sixth, major seventh. This is an octave, it's written like this. This is a ninth, a major ninth. This is a major 10th.
So if he gives
This
us,
is a perfect 11th. This is a 12th, but it's never really used. Perfect 12th. This is rarely used. This is a major 13th. This is a 14th, major 14th, right?
I don't think we went up that high. I think we only went up to major 7.
yeah. So if he gives us like, if he gives us a C major,
Yeah.
or just the C, and then he's like, okay, find a major third above this. And then
Okay.
can you write, the way to find it would be to write out the scale and then just count to the third.
That's an
on the
easier
scale.
way.
Okay.
All right. Have you got this one? All the way?
Yeah. I'm going to stop at major 7. I'm really confused.
You are?
Yeah. Super
These are the names of them. If we go up to major 7, just stop at the octave right here. those are the names of the intervals. C and C is a unison. C and D is called a major second. C and E is called a major third. C and F is called a perfect fourth.
Yeah, I got all that. I just don't know how we got them.
How we got the intervals?
Mm-hmm.
We took the C, we put it across all the way up to the note here.
And then we
Then
counted
we wrote it.
spaces.
Then we wrote a major scale above it, and then using C as a starting note.
Uh-huh.
So it's a C major scale above the note C.
Okay, but
So all it is
how
taking.
come that's a major third and the next is a perfect fourth? Why not a major fourth? I don't
Well, the names of the intervals are probably from around 1150 AD.
Mm-hmm.
And the intervals are major, and then minor, augmented, diminished, and then sus4 were the basic names of all the intervals. And then when you're writing out a scale, the intervals are always going to be major second, major third, and this is just the name of it. It's been given from the 11th century. It's always called a perfect fourth. And a perfect fifth. And traditionally, the reason why they're called perfect is because of the sound of it. Originally, the monks were singing Gregorian chants, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when they played these kinds of notes. This is it's a very perfect, flat, solid, stable sound. Here's a perfect fifth, right? Here's a perfect fifth. Here's a third. It doesn't have the stability of this perfect fifth. And a perfect fourth is its cousin. They were the most consonant sounding intervals back in the 11th century, so they called them perfect because they were deemed to be divinely perfect.
So like if one person sang the low note and the other
Yeah, that
person
was a
sang, it
perfect
would be
fifth
like-
harmony. It was pretty much like older Gregorian chants, monophonic music from back then.
Okay.
So the names were invented almost 1900 years ago.
Nothing's changed.
So we don't change it. So that's why it's called perfect fifth.
Okay. I was just wondering because major and then they just threw in some perfects there.
Based on the sound.
Okay.
So these are the names of the intervals created from the major scale. So if you take a major scale and you write out a note, these are all the intervals of the major scale.
Okay.
So you can also count in half steps. So a unison is 0 half steps.
Because it's the
A
same.
major second is 2 half steps. A major third, right, is 4 half steps. Perfect fourth is 5 half steps.
So what was a
Okay,
major third?
4 half steps.
4. Okay, so this one would be. Sorry, I'm gonna write this down.
Okay. Perfect fourth is 5 half steps. Perfect fifth would be how many half steps? 7, right? And the reason why is because this note is 2 half steps above that note. F, F sharp, G, right?
Oh, I always forget about the sharps.
Okay. A major sixth is a whole step above a perfect fifth, so
That's
instead
half
of
steps, so it would be 9.
9 half steps. A major seventh would be a whole step above a major sixth, so 11 half steps.
11.
And an octave would be 12 half steps. So those are the amount of half steps that each note creates by playing it against the tonic root note. Okay? So if you're going to write out intervals, this is the key right here, this amount of half steps. should probably copy this down if anything,
Yeah,
how many half steps each one is, because that's how you're gonna calculate.
I did.
Okay. So, if he gives you a test, a question, here's a note.
Give some examples.
Write a note, a major sixth above this note.
It's a note.
So, here's this note, F.
Major six.
We want to note a major sixth above that note.
Oh, B. B. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, watch this.
E?
Watch this.
Did I do it wrong?
Here's the secret. I should turn off the camera.
I forgot that thing was on.
Just count the lines of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How come it says 9 half steps? Or major six? I think you threw me off there a little bit.
Oh, do you not count the F as
What
one?
did I say? Did I say 6 half steps?
You said 9.
For a major sixth? Okay. Yeah. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not counting half steps. I'm counting scale tones.
Okay.
So
It's just an alternative technique I'm showing you right now.
Oh.
A quickie technique.
Okay, let's, okay.
Okay.
Just clear.
That's
my
the
brain.
elaborate technique. This is the quickie
Okay,
one.
so
To
we're
remember on the test
we're on
tomorrow.
F,
gotcha.
F,
count
major sixth, count up.
6.
1 line, 1 space, 1 line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, there's 1.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'd be an F.
F is 1,
Oh.
G is A,
F
B.
is 1.
Right, so there's sixth,
That's
right?
D?
Yeah, so here's the sixth.
Yeah, D. And then you just
Okay.
write it up here, and that would be my chord, or that would
Isn't
be.
it,
Numerals.
you could also go
major sixth.
2 down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would give it to you as
Yeah.
well.
What?
Here's F.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh,
There's your sixth,
Same
right?
thing, right?
That's a D, so there's a D there, right? Two Ds, right? One on top, one below. Either one. This
Okay.
this would be a minor third below, a major sixth above. Do you want to go a major sixth below?
we
No.
would just count 6 places below, wouldn't we?
Well,
Well, that wouldn't land you on D, would it?
no, a major sixth below F would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Below F.
That's a.
A.
Yep. That's a C.
Okay, let's do another interval.
Oh, because we started out in different.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, I'm looking at bass clef. That's an A.
How about a perfect fifth above E? Now, you should know that.
Perfect fifth above E?
Don't say it, Leonard.
Mhm.
Here's E.
Okay.
So how do we count?
So here's B.
1, 2,
1, 2,
3, 4, 5, right?
So it would be
See?
B,
Right.
right?
Yep, B.
Now, what if I have a flat key thrown in here? What if I got this? Give me a note, a perfect fifth above that.
4 flat, so you're an A flat?
Yeah.
And what? No, that's an A.
Where's my thingy?
E flat?
Yeah, do you see why? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Mhm.
So there's the
F,
note.
A, C,
You have a flat and
and
a
that would be
key.
flat.
But the key signature takes care of it, right?
Mhm.
So you don't have to put the flat?
Not if this is already here.
Oh, okay.
But if the question says,
Write the key and then give
if
me
it
a-
says this, what's the perfect fifth above A flat? Well, you gotta put the flat in here,
Okay.
see?
He does that.
Okay, so now you know.
I always wondered what the hell he was talking about. Okay, that makes
Every
sense.
time I talk to him, I say the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do another one.
Okay.
here's, what intervals has he covered in the class?
He does them all.
Here,
We'll
I
do, like,
might
major
have some
second.
notes.
Minor
I just
third.
write down whatever he writes, I don't really understand them.
Okay, let's do a minor third.
Below?
A minor third below? Okay. How about, D?
Okay.
So how many half steps below D? How many half steps is a minor third?
4,
0, 1, 2, 1, 2,
So-
3.
1,
4 half steps is a major third, right? So a minor third's 4 half steps, right?
4, so it would be A.
So D, 4 half steps, right? These are scale tones, these are steps. Half steps are chromatic.
Oh, I forgot.
So scale tones down, if we're doing minor thirds, you can't count scale
I gotta
tones anymore
figure
unless you
that
really know the sharps and flats really well. All
Yeah,
right, so
so if
4
I
half
look
steps.
on here, then it would help me.
Say that again?
If I look on my matrix, it will help me, like know what the half steps are,
Not really.
or on
Uh,
the piano.
Yeah, if you just look on this, so I'll tell you, this is the best one for the half steps.
Okay.
So if you're here,
Also C flat.
just count on this one here. So you just go like this. We're on, what note are we on here? D? So here's D right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
So it would be A flat,
Yeah.
piece of cake.
4 half steps down.
What if, but there's no key signature. So do you just have to, is you just
Well,
assume we
here's-
know that?
No, we're on D.
We're
We're
on
gonna
D.
go 4 half steps down, 3 half steps down would be major, 4 half steps would be, 4 half steps is major, 3 is minor. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. It would be B would be the 3 half steps down.
Oh.
So we're doing 3 half steps, right? That was the thing. A minor third
Oh,
equals 3 half
I
steps.
don't know that. We didn't go over minors at all, for intervals.
So a minor third below D is 3 half steps down. If you look on the piano here, here's D, that's 0, 1, 2, 3 for B, right?
Can we go over minors? Because all I have is the majors.
Well, we're talking about intervals.
Right. All I have is how many half steps I'm supposed to go on the major intervals. I don't know how. I didn't know I was supposed to count 3.
Okay, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because I knew on a major third, I count 4. I don't know anything about minors.
Okay. Unison intervals, which would be C and C or an octave, right? Up a half
Same
step,
notes.
yeah, up a half step, it's always called augmented. Down a half step is always called diminished.
Oh, okay, let me write that.
Major intervals, what are we talking, thirds, sixths, right?
Mhm.
Up a half step,
These arrows represent
Augmented.
half steps.
yeah. Down a half step, minor.
Diminished.
So major are always down, 1 half step is minor, always up, 1 half step becomes augmented. That's probably the most important one to know. Perfect intervals, if you go up a half step, it's augmented, down a half step is diminished.
So just 1 half step.
1 half step. Take any major interval, and you go up 1 half step, it becomes an augmented interval. Okay?
Okay.
Major second, up a half step is an augmented second.
Alright.
A major seventh, up a half step is an augmented seventh, also an octave. A major sixth, up a half step is an augmented sixth. Perfect intervals are also augmented. Perfect fourth, up a half step becomes an augmented fourth. Perfect fifth, up a half step becomes an augmented fifth. Perfect octave, up a half step becomes an augmented octave. Rarely used ever. Now, minor intervals, up always become major. Down always become diminished.
Diminished is that little circle thing?
Yeah.
I always like to write DIM.
It doesn't make a difference.
It's different schools and different states and different parts of the country use different notations, but everybody understands DIM.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, some people, it's like you said, isn't that circle, doesn't that mean half diminished? Like, yeah, you're right, you know. This is diminished,
The
this
book
is
has
half diminished.
that little circle.
Yeah, that's fine, you know. I write my zeros with a line through them because I did a lot of computer programming back in the 80s. And we never write zeros without a line through it when you're doing computer programming, because you don't want anybody to mistake it for the letter O. All right, now, so this is how intervals are basically written. So if you have a major third, like this, C and E, if you take the C and you make the next one F, or E sharp rather, this becomes an augmented third, which is also a perfect fourth.
Okay, because you went up a half step.
Yeah. If you take like a major second, like C and D, and then you make it C and D sharp, what's that called? That's called an augmented second.
Okay. I wonder how that moves the piano.
Now, if you take a second, like C and D, that's a major second, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you make it C and D flat, we call that a minor second,
Because it went down,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you got all these intervals in the key of C,
Would it be the same in other keys?
all keys the same.
Okay, we would just start on a different
Yeah.
note. That's
Here's
all,
C,
right?
and here's C and C, C and D, C
Yeah.
and D, C and D, C and E, C and E, C and E, C and F, C and F, C and G,
And you're writing three of them
C and
because
G.
one's augmented, major,
C
and minor?
and G. Yeah, let's try this. C and C is unison, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. C and D is a major second, right?
Okay, yeah.
But now, I can do two other things with that major second. I can make that D sharp or D flat.
Oh, so the flat
So-
is minor,
So this is a minor second.
and the.
This one is an
dimin-
augmented second.
Oh, because it's major.
Major goes to augmented,
Right.
always up to augmented. All right, now we got C and E, that's a major third, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we can take that E and sharp it, or we can flat it, right?
So that would be augmented and then minor.
Yeah, augmented third. This is a minor third.
Bad. I wrote all this down at one point.
Okay.
I don't understand it.
Now C and F is what? That's
Fourth.
perfect fourth. And what can we do with perfect intervals? We can augment it or
Diminished.
diminished, right? So the problem is this augmented third, C and E sharp, right? is the same as C and F. Those are the same thing. So they cancel out that one in preference for that one. So that one gets canceled out all the time. So perfect fourth, you can take the fourth, raise it up a half step, and you get your augmented fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other problem, if you take that C with the fourth and you have an F flat, well, F flat's gonna be E, right? It's gonna be a major third. We don't really wanna call it a diminished fourth if it's easier to say. A major third is more commonly used in the world all over than a diminished fourth. I mean, you're not gonna really have people that say, regard that as a diminished fourth interval ever. You know, it's really not gonna be, you'll find it rarely used in some scores where the composer is very strict sticking to, academic rules. But in practical purposes, a diminished fourth is a very obscure interval that only exists in theory. It's just a major third is all it is.
Okay.
All right, but
We'd
we
be
have
able
an
to see
augmented
that
fourth.
because of the notes. The notes are the same.
Yeah.
Right?
C and G, that's a perfect fifth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we can do two things with a perfect fifth, right?
Augment and
We
diminish.
can go G sharp or G flat. So we can augment the fifth
Mhm.
or diminish the fifth. Okay.
That makes perfect.
Does that help?
Yeah. I can't believe I'm learning the entire semester in one night.
Is this the whole thing?
Pretty much. We move on to chords and we're good.
Yep.
Seriously, right?
And then inversions.
And inversions. That's next.
Can you give us like one or two more to practice?
Intervals?
Yeah.
All right, get the book out. We'll see one of the problems in the book. Let's see what the book says. Look at the assignments in there and see if they got any interval ones. We just copy them out of the book.
They do. Here's my notes. It's a good bookmark. This is what he was teaching on intervals and everything else. There's some in the back. I know because I was practicing. There's
Aren't there just-
intervals.
In the chapters, aren't there homework assignments in the chapters?
I found that there was more assignments here. But, we can go. Almost there. There's not very much. It's hard to find.
Do you know what they're saying?
We didn't really use this.
Barely- yeah, we
Okay, here's
barely used
parallel perfect intervals. Here's fifths. Not really finding There's some of them I think that's vertical and.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's one that you need to know.
Yeah, I wrote that in class. Here, I think this is the rule of flipping.
Here's the rule of 9. You guys need to know this.
Okay.
Oh, that's it.
The intervals, when you flip them, the two together always have to add up to 9. So, if you have a major seventh,
Becomes a minor second.
yeah, if you flip it upside down, it's a minor second, and that's 9, okay? A major sixth becomes a minor third, adds up to 9. Okay, a major third and it becomes a minor sixth, adds up to 9. And a minor second flipped becomes a major 7, adds up to 9. Okay, then you got your perfect fourth, flipped becomes a perfect fifth, and that's 9. A perfect fifth flipped becomes a perfect fourth, and that's 9. That's only for all the major intervals. So that's the rule of 9. Everything always adds up to 9.
Oops. Minor second.
Are you with me on that? You got it all?
I need the last two. Makes sense. I have no idea what you mean though. Like they equal the same thing?
Well, just the numbers always add up to 9. So if you have a question and say, okay, major sixth, a major sixth up is the same thing as going minor third down. So if you got G to E, that's a major sixth, right? right? Going up is a major 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same as going down a minor third.
To E?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Same thing on album.
Yeah. So if you, and you're supposed to add up to 9. 6 and 3 is 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then if you got G and D, that's a perfect fifth, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a perfect fifth going up. And then down, the perfect fourth. They equal 9.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So if he says, give me a major 6 interval below D.
Below, then you would go 3 down.
No, you go 6 down or 3, minor third up. So D to F would be a minor third, right? And
Wait a
then
minute.
F down here is a major 6.
Can you say that again?
If you got D, you want to go below, down, a major 6th. You can count down to there, or you can count up. These have to equal 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
if
or I can
you
count-
say the question is, give me a 6 below this note, you could go 6 below or 3 up, it's the same note.
Oh, I thought you had to go up for 6. I'm really confused.
Well, if the question is, someone says, here's the note. Give me 6 below.
You can just count 6.
You can, or you can count what's 9 minus 6? 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can go below 6
Or 3 up.
or 3 up.
Oh, and it equals the same.
Same thing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
So
3
you're
up
saying, give me.
from D is minor third is F.
Mm-hmm.
Major 6 would be F down here.
So it's
This
the
would be a
same
minor
thing.
third.
Gotcha. Same note.
This would
Essentially.
be a major 6.
Okay. I understand now.
Test is tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what was the next question real quick?
Flipping the intervals.
That's what we're doing. We're
Oh,
flipping them.
that's it?
Yeah.
That's all
Mhm.
that is?
You dominant 7th chord?
Dominant 7th chords?
Well,
We
the
need chords in general.
dominant 7, major 7, minor 7, diminished, and half diminished.
Yeah, where's ours?
Well, you get your nomenclature of chords sheet.
Hmm?
Did I give you the nomenclature of chords sheet?
Yeah, somewhere.
This,
No,
this.
no, no.
I did.
You go.
Yeah, here we go. These ones.
I have to memorize this?
Oh. Well, the way I was learning it was that if it's a major 7th, the 3rd has to be sharped, and the 7th has to be sharped.
Well, there's the easy way. It's like this. You got triads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are these formulas based on?
The major scale.
Major scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything's based on the major scale. And everything that we change is a modification of the major scale. Once we got that established, we can learn anything.
Okay.
All right. So triads. What are the notes of a triad? You know, it's 1,
3rd,
3, and 5, right? That's a given, right? So triads, you can go 1, 3, 5. How many ways can we modify that?
2.
5, 3, 1.
Well, we're not talking permutate it. We're talking about modify it. Permutate is rearranging the numbers. Modifying is altering the numbers.
So you can sharp them.
Yeah, so you can go 1, 3, sharp 5, or 1, 3, flat 5, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can go 1, sharp 3, 5, 1, sharp 3, sharp 5, 1, sharp 3, flat 5, or we can go 1, flat 3, 5, 1, flat 3, sharp 5, 1, flat 3, flat 5. There's one more triad, that's a 1, 4. You go 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, sharp 5, 1, 4, flat 5. And you can also go 1, sharp 4, 5, 1, sharp 4, sharp 5. And 1, sharp 4, flat 5 cancels each other out because sharp 4 and flat 5 are the same note. So these are all the things you can do to a triad.
Where'd you get the 4 from?
Suspended.
So four chords are used in
Gotcha.
first generation harmonies, 16th century, and whatever. Okay, this
Aren't
is,
those used like the transition to another kind of note or chord? Suspended?
suspended fourth chord, yes.
Yeah.
All right, 1, 3, this is all stuff you can do to a triad, right?
Mhm.
So in first generation harmony, which is what this is about, we're not dealing with all these. We're only dealing with some of these. So we're going to be dealing with this one. That's called a major. This one is an augmented. Not dealing with that one. 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 Okay. We got 1 flat 3 5. We're dealing with that one. That's a minor. This is not dealt with, and this is dealt with. This is diminished. And this one is sus4. Okay, so all these other ones are crept into music about 300 years later. So that's in the 1920s and 30s and 40s we started experimenting with altering the other notes in the chords and using them. But for now,
And then you have jazz.
jazz does all that stuff too. Those are all the chords that we're going to be concerned with right there.
Well, he didn't really touch on suspended fourths.
No, he didn't.
All right,
We don't even have to worry about
you're
it.
lucky. Okay.
I only know that because I'm trying to play music on the piano.
So you got 4 chords for triads that we're working on, right? Circle those on your nomenclature sheet. That's all you got to worry about.
1,
Major, minor, augmented, diminished.
4.
Those are the formulas right there. In the center column,
Yeah.
those are the formulas for the chords.
I don't know what that means though.
1, 3, 5, 1
Okay, so-
flat 3, 5.
What is that?
So if he asked you, if he asked you to build a minor, like an E minor,
just make the third
you'd
flat?
have- you'd go E
Is it?
and then
That's what
flat
it
the
is.
third, and then leave the fifth.
That's a flat.
Flat, that's a flat.
Okay. I
Say
thought
it
we
again,
were
Mike.
supposed to put
Hang on.
it after.
It would be E.
When you're writing it out in English, it's before. When you're writing it on notes, it's after. Okay, what's the question, Michael?
Okay, so if you want to build an E minor chord,
Yeah.
would you just have E, G
Well, first-
flat, and then B?
First let's talk about E, right? E major. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Right? Whole step, half step, right? F sharp, C sharp, G sharp.
Oh, wow,
D
this is so
sharp.
much easier. We don't even.
Oh, our
Oh,
major
okay,
scale,
so
right?
it would have to be G.
Here's our major
G
scale.
natural.
So here's our E major chord. 1, 3, and 5, right?
And in order to
So
mod-
E is 1, 3, 5, or E, G sharp, and B,
So
right?
if you want to make that minor,
if you want to make that minor, you got to take the third,
And
1,
flat
2,
it.
3, and flat it,
It would be a
right?
G natural.
So it'd be G natural.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
He wants to make an E chord minor.
Okay, so that's why you're throwing in the sharps.
Because
Oh,
yeah.
wait.
Well, I'm doing longhand. You want to take an E chord and make it minor. Here's an E chord.
Okay.
E, G, B. E chord's got a G sharp in it, right?
Mhm.
So that's the major chord. That's
How
E
do we
major.
know it has a G sharp?
I just explained it. Here's the E major scale. I'll do it again. E major scale.
Sorry.
E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Here's our sharps and flats, right? F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp.
It's also going to be key signature.
Key signature F, C.
Oh, okay, so I didn't see the
G.
key signature.
We can write it up there.
Oh, okay.
So there's our
That's
E,
what
that's
threw
our
me
E
off. I'm
major.
sorry.
That's our E major scale, right?
Okay,
All right, so the E
Okay.
major scale, the 1, 3, and 5 are going to be here 1,
gotcha.
3, and 5, E, G sharp,
Right,
and B, right?
yeah.
So that's our major chord. So that's
I
our
didn't see
basis, the
key
major.
signature.
So major is the basis, right?
Okay.
So everything else is a modification of major. So if it's a minor chord, they take the third,
Mhm.
you have to make it a flat third, right? So that G sharp, you have to lower it down to make it a flat
To a
three,
G?
to a G. So G sharp becomes G,
And then you have an E minor.
and that makes it E minor.
Oh, okay. So you just flat the third,
You flat the third.
and that makes it E flat.
That makes it E minor,
I mean E minor. Okay.
another chord.
Let's do like D diminished.
D diminished?
Yeah.
Okay. So, now, one thing I touched on last time when you weren't here, we did this number line for the chords too. It follows the number line for the staff. And then you should write this down, it's really important.
Okay.
It's C, E, G, B, D, F, A, C,
Oh, I have that.
E. Yeah,
I don't.
I'm saying she doesn't.
Oh,
You taught again?
it was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, man. Did you always have that thing up?
That was
It's
the first one.
permanent, every Sunday, till now, until,
Oh, I didn't know.
not
that.
during
I
the
just
winter
recently-
break, but,
I was doing piano and I was like, oh, that'd be really
starting
cool.
in whatever, February is when we start.
Second, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be down here doing this little workshop every week, and people wanna get caught up, they can, you know. Anyway, this is the chord number line.
Now, why is it those notes?
Well, if you take any scale and build chords out of it, we usually take every other note in the scale, that's how we build chords. So in other words, if you take a scale like this, so we take this note, the next note to build a chord is going to be this note. So we take every other note. That's how we build chords, it's every other note of the scale.
Okay.
And that's just an extension of that logic.
No matter what kind of chord it is.
The spelling is generally going to be based on every other note, unless you get into jazz chords and chordal harmony, which is
So like
harmony
even
four.
if it's a diminished seventh or whatever, you would still do every other note. And then
Yeah,
go
give
from
me
there.
a note name.
G.
G. All right. So G diminished 7.
Mhm.
So it's going to be these 4 notes modified some way, always in that order.
Okay.
So it's going to be G, B, D, F modified. Here's your 1. This one has to be a flat 3.
And a flat
This one has to be a flat 5, and this one has to be a flat. Diminished would be double flat 7
Yeah.
Mhm.
or a 6. So a B in the key of G is a major third, so we have to make it a B flat. A D is a perfect fifth, so you have to make it a diminished fifth. And F is a 7, so it has to be an F flat flat.
Which would be an E flat.
Yeah, F flat's E, it would be E flat.
Right.
Or the 6.
Or, well, for read, we would just write the double flat.
Well, that's traditionally academically how you do it.
Would say 2
So here's
on the
F.
seven.
Flat equals E, so
F double.
F double flat
Would be E flat.
equals E flat.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's wrong. Why? I'll tell you why. Because in the key of G, we have 1 sharp, don't
Oh,
we?
and it's F.
So our
So
key
it
of
would be
G, F sharp is our sharp, so that would be, in the
F
key of G,
sharp.
that would be F sharp,
And so if you
right?
double flat it, it'd be F now.
So if you
Or
double
no,
flat the F
It'd
sharp,
be F flat.
yeah, so F sharp, down 1/2 step is F, down 1/2 step is F flat. So F
Why
flat,
isn't it just E?
well, the E is the 6th, so a lot of people just use E, but academically, theoretically, academically, it's F flat.
So if you're building a 7th chord, say like, I don't know, what would you say, like B major 7?
E major 7.
You would have to, when you're building that chord, you would have to use the sharps and flats that are in that key to help you identify which one of those.
Yeah, we start with major.
Okay.
So B major 7, here's B, right? F, C, G, D, A is our key signature, right? That's B major.
And so in order to build a B seventh chord, you need B, D, F, and A.
Yeah, so here's our B chord. We got B, D, F, A, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the flats and sharps would be B, D sharp, F sharp,
And A sharp.
A sharp. That'd be a B major 7. Now, so those are following the key signature here. B, D sharp, F sharp, A.
Yeah.
Now what if we want to make that into a B7? What's a B7 formula?
A B7.
Dominant 7.
Oh,
You
dominant.
have to flat the 7.
Flat to 7, right?
So you make
So
it a
dominant
natural.
7, B7 equals 1, 3, 5, 7. A B minor 7 is what?
Flat third.
Flat 3, flat 7, right? So B minor 7
The third and the seventh.
equals 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. And what about a B diminished 7?
Flat, the third, fifth.
and
Okay,
seventh.
that's it.
1, flat 3, flat 5, and what else?
That's it.
B diminished 7?
That's
Don't
what
you,
it says.
don't you flat the 7th as well?
There is no 7. You go up to the 6.
6 is a double flat 7 as well.
Oh.
So I
That's
use
really
6.
confusing.
I know, but I use not anymore. 6 or double flat 7.
Can I just use 6?
I do, but Reed won't like that. He likes double flat 7 because it's academically correct. I like your idea going down south, man. You get up there on the porch with them guys, man, they don't know no double flat 7.
Yeah.
They can do 6, man. They just can count to 6. Because that one guy, man, he used to have 10 fingers. He got 3 of them blown off in the Civil War. Wait a minute, no, man, he got 4 blown off. All right, so we got B7 is a 1, 3, 5, 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
1, 3, 5, flat 7, excuse me. Right? So, we got B, D, F. Now, it wouldn't be A flat because it's sharped. So it would be A natural.
Is that what the natural thing is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's your
Is he gonna
B7.
test us on that? Did he go over that?
Possibly.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, what about a B minor 7? We start with these notes, B, D, F, A, and we flat the 3, so it'd be D natural, and we flat the 7. It's B minor 7. What about a B diminished 7? B, D, F, A.
The third
So we
and
flat the
The
3rd,
fifth,
and we flat the 5th,
and then the 6th is double flat.
double flat 7. So if it's A sharp, A natural, A flat would be the note.
Mhm.
So there's your B diminished 7. What else?
Sounds like I just need to memorize this.
Oh, you got one night. You just gung ho it tomorrow, you know?
I'm considering pulling an all-nighter and then just
Well,
staying up till
how about
7.
a near all nighter? The best way I used to do was to stay up till about 2, and then sleep for about 4 hours, get about 6:30 or so, and then put another hour in before you go to school.
Can't, our test is at 7.
7?
Wake up at 6.
I know.
The test is at 7 on a
Yes.
Monday?
7 a.m.
He's not gonna be here, is he?
Says he will.
Amsterdam. Okay, so this is the chord number line.
Okay.
All the chords always are gonna be derived from that chord number line.
Why?
So basically, if we
Is
memorize
there a formula
the
for
chord
that?
number line and then accidental in the key, we'll be good.
Yeah.
Say that again so I can remember that.
Why? Why is the chord number line used? Because when you do a scale, remember the scale? Every other note in the scale builds a chord, right?
Also, that's every other note.
That's every
So
other
just
note.
write every other
That's a
note.
list of every other note. That's the whole thing of understanding how to create chords, where they come from. In traditional harmony, jazz, they
Jazz
start.
just throws all the rules out the window.
No, they have different kinds of rules, man, and then they change those as they go. And then somebody comes along and goes,
Because there's a lot of improv in jazz.
totally. Anyway,
Well, there's a lot of improv and blues too. But
Blues is almost all improv, but it's
Heroin.
always like the same structure. Jazz is so different.
okay, so if I have a chord, throw me a note.
B.
We just did B.
Oh, F.
F. All right. So what's a triad F going to be? It's going to be one of these three. It's going to be these three. FAC, right? What's the seventh chord? It's going to be FACE.
Are you fucking kidding me? Sorry.
Okay, throw me another note.
Wait, hold on. Why is that the seventh? Oh, because I'm counting whole steps, or half steps.
Every other note in the scale to build a chord.
Right,
And
so
your
I
your
count
E is the
F, G, A, B,
C,
C, D,
D,
E. Okay.
Yeah. So in the key of F,
Really?
in the key of F here, you got B flat. You go F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. There's your seventh chords. 1, 3, 5, 7. F, A, C, E. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's every other note in the F scale, right?
Yeah. So if
Every other note in the scale makes a chord.
G, A,
In traditional harmony.
C. Oh wait, 1, 2. It would be.
What's your question?
What would be a? No, there is no fifth. What am I saying? Confusing it. I'm tired now.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I think my brain just like. Okay. I think you're gonna do better than most.
Well, I offered to do this early on in the semester, but
Nobody announced it.
I don't think there was zero interest with anybody for the first 3 months of the semester.
I didn't
Zero.
even know. Otherwise, I would have done this at the beginning.
Reed didn't tell us. He could when he brought it up. He was like, "Oh, Pepper's considering doing it," but he's like, he didn't know. If I'd known you were here every Sunday since the beginning of the semester, I would have been here.
That's what I thought, but it's just,
I accidentally saw your hat. I was coming out of piano, and I always read these things, and I'm like, oh, no freaking way. And you're like, who's this?
well, nobody
I
showed
thought
up
it had
last
one.
week at all. I came down here and nobody was here.
That's because you didn't tell us you were going to be here.
I did. And this is 2 weeks ago. I have it on, you can watch the YouTube video and it says right there on there, I will be here in 2 weeks at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was last week. Last week was 2 weeks.
Well, how am I supposed to know you're on YouTube?
No,
I
you were
assumed
here
everybody
before.
knew.
I don't know who you are. Nobody told me who you are.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't. I
love
found
that
you all
statement.
on my
You know,
own.
we were here the Sunday before last, so 2 weeks would be today.
No, today's 3 weeks. Remember we did Thanksgiving weekend, we didn't do anything. So 3 weeks ago.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so what else is on
You
that?
win this time, Pepper.
Well, there's no win. Man.
Dude, we
No,
win
I'm
no
just
matter
here,
what.
I mean, they,
Oh, Roman numerals.
what are Roman numerals?
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay, numbers for scale tones, Roman numerals for chords.
Okay, so
So if you got a scale,
No,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
well,
Four.
they're called Arabic numerals,
Scale.
right?
1, 4, 5, and 7 are
Tones.
major.
1, 4, 5 are
Sorry.
major.
1, 4, 5. Okay, and then everything else is minor.
2, 3, and 6 are minor,
And then, and 7 is dominant.
diminished.
Is it dominant?
5 is dominant with a 4-note chord.
Oh, okay.
Let me go over that.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, 4-note chord is a 7.
And then so Roman numerals for chords,
Yeah,
right?
dominant, 7th.
Okay.
So if you got a scale like C, scale tones, 1 Arabic numerals, right?
Mhm.
Always numbers for notes, right?
But for chords,
Okay, but now when you get into chords, haha. So, do you know how to stack chords? We just line, space, space, space. You got that down? Okay.
Mhm.
The
But that would
line,
just be,
line.
that's any chord though, right?
any chord.
Let's just do it anyways.
Okay, so those are the chords built from the C major scale.
Mhm.
So now we call those by Roman numerals. So we got 1,
major 1, minor 2.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1. Now, in traditional harmony classes, which I think
That's little numbers.
that's what I'm about to say.
Oh,
All right, in traditional harmony classes and classical, this is jazz terminology. They just use big Roman numerals, you know. All right, traditional harmony classes, they always use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1. That's how they always write it in traditional. Uppercase for the 1, 4, and 5. Major and perfect are uppercase. Minor and diminished are lowercase.
hold on 1 second, let me just copy that. Then I'll bug you.
That's all right. So the formulas for these chords are 1 is always major, 2 is always minor, 3
Minor,
is minor, 4
major.
is major, 5 is major if it's a triad. If it's a 7th chord,
It's different.
dominant.
Okay.
All right, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished, and 1 is major. Now, you see why I don't like to put a circle for diminished, because it looks like an extension of these notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me, I always like to just D-I-M for diminished. That's my preference. Okay, so that's for triads. 7th chords adds one more note to the chord. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm still stuck on that.
On which?
I don't know why those letters are smaller. Those are minors?
Minor, they use lowercase,
How do
major uppercase, major and perfect
How do we
uppercase.
know that that's minor? Oh, because of the notes?
Well, these notes, D, F, and A, these chords are built using the C major scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this chord, C, E, and G, the distance between C and E, that's a major third, right?
Okay,
And between C and G, that's a perfect fifth, right?
okay.
So that's your C major chord, right? You restricting yourself to using the scale only, you're not modifying it. The D, F, A is the next chord. D to F, that distance is a minor third and a perfect fifth. D to F is a minor third.
So it makes the whole chord
Where
minor.
was that?
Makes the
one?
whole chord minor.
Okay. Because, can you explain how you got to that?
Here's D, right?
Uh-huh.
D sharp, E, F, 0, 1, 2, 3 half steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is a minor third, right?
Okay. Oh, okay.
We're not using F sharp in the C major scale, are we?
No,
There's no F
there's
sharp
no
in this.
sharp.
So we're using F natural. So D to F natural, if you count up using the chromatic number line, it's 3 half steps. So it's a minor third. That makes the chord with a perfect fifth, it makes it minor, right? Minor is 1 flat 3 5, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so same thing with E. You take the E triad, E, G, B, here's E, the next note is G, right here's F, F sharp, G, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. That's a minor third, right? So that's a minor third interval for E to G, right?
Mhm.
And then E to B, that's 7 half steps, that's a perfect fifth. That's an E minor chord. So the 2 chord is D minor, right? Three chord is E minor. And your 4 chord, FAC, is a major chord, so that's F major. And your 5 chord is G major. 6 chord is A minor. 7 chord is B diminished. And then back to C major again. So those are all the
It's in
chords.
like alphabetical order.
Those are all the chords in the key of C major. Okay? And the chords are named by Roman numerals. So 1, 4, 5 progression is going to be this one, this one, this one. You know that already, right?
Mhm.
But do you know that? A 1, 4, 5.
Because you just count.
Yeah. And then cadences, there's different kinds of cadences, right? Cadences are 1, 4, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, 5, 4.
Are those just ways to end?
Yeah,
Okay.
the different cadences.
I
Okay?
thought cadence was like rhythm almost.
No, that's a chord progression.
Wow.
So cadences are probably, you're gonna have authentic cadence, a plagial cadence, a plagal cadence. There's like 4 or 5 different kinds of cadences that are talked about in classical music. You have to look those up in the book,
Okay.
because those are not my forte, the names of the cadences. But I know them in terms of jazz progressions, like a 2-5-1, 3-6-2-5-1, stuff like that. I could learn the cadences again in one night, but I don't have them off the top of my head. Anyway, so this is 3-note chords, okay? For 7th chords, we add 1 note. Okay, so we're still doing C, so we got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? And then we just stack line, 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 right? Space, 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 line, 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 space, 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 line, 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 space, 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 line, 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 space, space, space. So what we got here is your 1 chord, it's a major 7, your 2 chord, minor 7, your 3 chord,
So it's the same formula?
similar. 4 chord is a major 7. Now here's your bugger.
Dominant 7.
Yeah, the 5-7. This is the big important one you got to learn. When they started using that one around 85, the Bach. What you got to use is dominant 7th all the time. And then you 6 minor.
You call these 7 chords, right?
4-part chords are called 7 chords. Why?
Because you count 7 spaces.
Because we take a C scale and you go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We're taking a 4-note chord now, so we're taking every other note in the scale, right? We're taking this one, this one, this one, and now 4 notes, taking that one. We got the root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. You got 1, 3, 5, and 7, 4 notes out of the scale.
Okay.
That's these 4 notes, C, E, G, B, C, E, G, B. So it's called a 7th chord because it uses the 7th note of the scale.
Okay. Can I write just this down?
Sure. This is about October 30th in terms of if I was teaching a course starting in September.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, Reed just goes so fast that no one gets it, and then he just spends the rest of the semester reviewing.
Yeah, but not good enough.
Hmm.
It's not even a good enough review. People are still scared to ask questions, and that's not good. Okay, so,
Yeah, Phil never asks Reed questions. He just turns to me or Dave.
yeah, well, when I tried, I even just went up to him privately. He didn't go over so well.
Did you make an appointment to see him and all that? And
I did, yeah.
what happened?
He told me, he told Phil that he should probably take piano before he takes theory 2, swings and basses. Which sucks because Phil's an awesome drummer, but like he doesn't need theory to play drums at all. He only needs rhythm, and he's got that on lock. He doesn't need rhythm.
Unlock, I like that term. Okay, so these are 4-part chords, 7th chords, okay?
Okay. And then the,
Now, does that make sense to you?
yeah,
Okay, it's just an extension of triads,
yeah, it's just adding.
just adding one more note. But the names of the chords change if you add one more note. Okay, so now, what are all the things we can do to a seventh chord? We'll limit it to classical harmony though.
You can
Major.
major it, you can minor, you can diminish it, you can half diminish it.
There we go. So we got 1, 3, 5, 7, right? So we can go 1, 3, 5, flat 7, right?
That's diminished.
Right? 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7.
That's minor diminished.
No. 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, and then 1, flat 3, flat 5, double flat 7. Those are the basic ones. There's one more.
That's
Oh,
the
okay,
diminished.
so
One.
the
The
seven
double flat
flat
is the
sharp
diminished.
5, flat 7. Those are the main core things you can do to a seventh chord.
second one's a dominant seven, right?
Right, so we got here is a major 7,
Dominant
Yeah, the second one's.
has a natural 7 in it. This one is a flat 7, that's called a dominant 7. It's written just 7. Dominant 7 is just written 7. Major 7s, a lot of times in classical music, they'll just write capital M7, right? Or sometimes they'll go MA7. Usually it's just capital M7 in classical. All right, this one's a minor 7. This one is a half diminished 7 or minor 7, flat 5 in jazz. And this one is a full diminished 7. And I like to write diminished 7 like that. Last year they were using Ralph Turek's book, and he would write 7s based on this relationship, this one, and that one. So a major 3rd, major 7th, major 3rd, minor 7th, minor 3rd, minor 7th. So Ralph Turek's definitions were 1, 3, 5, 7 was M7. He wrote a dominant 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, M7, like that. That's how he wrote a dominant chord in his book.
Because it has only one.
Yeah, and then the minor 7 was 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. He would write lower M, 7.
There's 2 flats.
Yeah, that's how he wrote it in his book. That's the only place I've ever seen that used in my whole life is that one book by Ralph Turek, where he used that terminology to write 7th chords. If you look on your nomenclature chord sheet, these are the symbols that are used a lot if you go work on a studio session or whatever. These are used most of all. But in classical music, they don't use those at all. Only in commercial music, jazz and commercial music.
Cool, I'm gonna stick to that.
A lot of guys will write for major 7, they'll write triangle 7. You ever seen that? So it's,
The last thing that I think we need to learn was the diatonic, or no. What's the thing, the listening diatonic melody? Is that what it is? When he plays something for us and we have to write the numbers, everyone messes that up. I don't think anybody's gotten it.
Short
perfect.
melody transcription.
Nobody's gotten that in my class. I almost
well, that's
had
not
it.
something we could cover in a few minutes. That's something that's like a whole long-term type of endeavor to do ear training. You gotta get like some
I'm
practice
actually pretty
cassettes or
good.
CDs and sit down and work with a dictation like a piano and just like listen to a melody and then try writing it out, look at the answer, see how far you're on.
I can do that,
You can,
yes. I can play by ear. I can't read.
but the whole point is to take
That's-
something you hear and be able to write it
I
down.
can put it on stuff.
But we don't, you
But
don't,
I
we don't have,
can't
we
do the
don't have
one,
to do it
I
with
can't do the
notes.
numbers is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can do we do numbers where it'll be the start of.
I could write the notes if you were to play it. That's not hard.
Okay, let's do that. Go ahead.
Okay. Just go slow, because I just memorized it on here, okay?
Okay. I'm gonna start with C.
Okay,
I'm
good.
gonna go
That's okay. A, C, G, F, F, A.
Boom, 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 boom.
A would be up here.
C, G, F, F, A.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find A. I haven't gotten them up here too good yet. Oh, so
E, G, B, P, F.
E, F,
One ledger line.
G, A.
One ledger line, go through it. You draw the ledger line first,
Uh-huh.
then put the note on top of the ledger line.
That's the first time I've ever done that, by the
Okay.
way. Ever in my life.
C, G, F, F, A. So you've got C, well, here's what you got. You got
Oh, I wrote it wrong? Oh, because I went down.
That's close. What are the numbers now? C is 1.
Okay.
G would be C, D, E, F, G. 5, right? A would be what? 6.
Oh, you can't?
C, D, E, F, G, A. 6, 6, and then 6 up there. Your 3 favorite numbers.
That's crazy. Okay, but he doesn't tell us what he's starting on.
He does. Well, he'll play it for us, and he'll be like, okay, that's the 1, and then you have to figure it out from there.
Right, except for I have to hear the 1 and know what that number 1 is.
Well,
He
here's-
told me we're starting on C. I think that's where I'm fucking up.
Well, that's a lot of stuff to do ear training for one night is pretty hard to just get all that down. You can study the theory and get it all down pretty easily, but the ear training is a long-term and cumulative process. It's not something I can really do tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, if we came every week and we did drills, on ear training every week, you get it down pretty good, but, it's just like anything. You do drills on anything, you get good at it, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue.
I think I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
It's only been 3.5 hours.
Really? I'm losing
Not
it.
2 o'clock in the morning yet. Where are you going, man?
I'm gonna go home.
Take a 1 hour nap.
I'm gonna go home and clean up all of my notes.
Take a break.